Please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, guys, please check it. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Guys, everybody, please respond for me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Good evening, guys. And just on Friday, I think so. I have taken one demo class. The continuation part here we have to discuss there anyway. So let us check the content what I discussed it there on the Friday class. See this Java is available in how many parts there? Come on. Java is available in how many parts? 3 parts. What are the 3 parts there? J2SE, J2EE and J2ME. J2SE is providing only fundamentals of the Java. By using fundamentals, we are able to prepare standalone applications. Standalone application are like what? Calendar in our computer, calculator in our computer, like this. How many applications are standalone applications there? Only 5% of the applications are what there? Standalone application. What is standalone application? If you have to this, if we prepare and execute any Java application without using client server architecture or without distributing application logic over multiple machines, then that application is what? Standalone application. All right, sir. Its direct utilization is only 5%, but its dependency level is what? There 1000%. To learn J2EE, to work with J2EE applications, to work with the Selenium testing, to work with the Salesforce, and to work with the Hadoop, and so on and so on and so on. 95% of the situations we have to use what there? J2SE. So it's a dependent technology. Okay, clear. After that, next one is like what there? J2EE. Java 2 Enterprise Edition. It will provide server-side programming. It can be used to prepare enterprise applications or distributed applications. If we design and execute any application on the basis of client-server architecture or by distributing application logic over multiple machines, then that application is called as distributed application or enterprise applications. 95% of the applications are what there? Distributed applications only. Examples are given: all banking applications, all insurance applications, all social media applications, all food delivery applications, or healthcare applications, and so on and so on and so on. All these things are like what there? Like enterprise applications only. Last one is what there? J2ME. Java 2 micro edition. It's able to provide what programming here now? Micro programming. By using this micro programming, what type of applications here we are able to prepare there? Mobile based applications. How many applications are mobile based applications nowadays? No, 100% of the applications are what there? Mobile based applications. All right, next point is what we are given there. This is important. Mobile application development has very good demand in outside, but J2ME is not having any demand. It's almost all dead in outside. Okay, right. So these are the things here we have to understand clearly about this J2ME part. Right, out of all these things, J2SE and J2EE are live at present in Java. J2ME is not required. No need to learn J2ME. We can leave this one. Okay, leave this content here. All right, after this, after completion of this particular one, understand the next one again. Today, I think all of you are having syllabus sheets, right? I think all of you are having syllabus, right? Or else, even after completion of the class, you are able to get a WhatsApp message about this syllabus now, content, what I'm going to discuss with you. All right, if you want to observe this, or else maybe just 2 minutes of time, if you want to see the syllabus content here, I can give list of content here now. So many content concepts are available. I'll give that list of content here. Let me give some list now. After that, I'll start our introduction content clearly. Right, sir. First one is like what their introduction, and second one is like what their steps to prepare first Java application. Then after this, steps to prepare first Java application. Third one is what their language fundamentals. After this language fundamentals, object orientation. Oops, this is very important. This is the heart of the Java, object orientation. Everybody must understand this oops. Without knowing that oops, we are unable to understand anything in Java. Right, next one is after completion of this object orientation, the next topic will be like what there, some wrapper classes, and the next one is like what there, some inner classes. Next, seventh one is like what their packages. After this, eighth one is what their string manipulations, string operations. This also be important content. String operations. So many times here we are going to use the string operations there in every project. As a common operations we are going to perform. Comparing two names, checking whether the email ID is a proper email ID or not. Anything, all the things here we are going to do. And frequently we are going to use in our applications here now. Next one is like what then after this string manipulations. Next one is we need to go with what their exception handling. This also be another important one. After this exception handling, next one is like what there multi-threading. Multi-threading is also be another important one. After this multi-threading, next one is what there IO streams. IO streams is okay, little bit, not completely. Then little bit important one here. Few topics are important. After completion of this IO streams, no. Next one is what there networking, outdated, but still we are going to discuss there as part of our content here. Next one is RMI, remote method invocation. After this RMI, next one is like what there arrays topic I will discuss here at the 14th topic. 15th one like what there collection framework. This is another important. After the object orientation, the second important topic is what there collection framework. Next one is what there string manipulations, exception handling, and multi-threading or nominal. After completion of this collection framework, then what next one here we are going to understand there reflection API. After this, the 17th one was there annotations. Then after completion of these annotations, the next topic will be like what the GUI part. In a GUI, AWT, and next one is like what the Spring. Even though they are outdated, but little bit awareness I'm able to provide. Why? Because just idea, not utilized in outside. No, just idea I want to provide. Their internal topics are important, but concept-wise it's not required. But their implementations are important. That's why I'm going to discuss about it. After completion of this, next one is like what there JVM architecture. After this JVM architecture, we are going to understand garbage collector. After this garbage collector, next one is like what are the regular expressions. After this regular expressions, another topic is like what there. Right, sir. Now here another content here. Introduction, inner class I covered. Okay, fine. JVM architecture, garbage collection, regular expressions, internationalization. Internationalization. Then after completion of this internationalization, all right. Anyway, in the list of topics here I'm giving there, if any topic if I miss no, then non-flow I'm going to be covered here. After completion of this content here, Java 8 version features. Java 8 version features. Right from Java 8. Next one is like what there Java 9 features, and so on and so on and so on, like this. Maybe almost 35 to 36 now here. At present, I think so. As per your say, Java 20th version, I think so it's available, right? You said to me, yeah, Java 20th features also I'm going to prepare. I'm going to explain to you. But as of now, I'm not having awareness on Java 20th up to Java 19th. Okay, but I can discuss that. But I'll update it. It's a matter of one day. I'll discuss even up to Java 20th version there now. So these are overall the topics here what we are having there clearly. If any one or two topics might be missing here, but overall content here I'm going to discuss with you. Huge content, heavy content. Why? Because it's a core Java, fundamental. If you know fundamentals, no, then only we are able to understand what their remaining content effectively. Without having these fundamentals, we are unable to understand the Java in the future. That's why I'm going to discuss more and more about this particular content. Got it or not? Just only headlines, only titles I have given. If I take each and every title, where internally more content is going on. So that I have to discuss there clearly. Fine. All right, so after that, after understanding this, now let's come for the introduction part today. Introduction. In introduction, what topics are available? What exactly the content is available in the introduction part here? Observe carefully. What exactly the content is existed here? Observe carefully. Inside the introduction topic. First one is Java history. Why Java is coming into the picture? Who has provided this Java? Huh? What exactly the work that Java people have done to prepare the Java programming language? All these points. The content here we are going to understand Java history. After this, differences between Java and others. Here others in the sense like what there C and C++. Why Java is coming? What differences you identified between Java and other programming languages like C and C++? What differences you identified there? Why Java is the best when compared with the C and the C++? And moreover, some people are having awareness on like what there. To learn Java, first we need to learn C++. To learn C++, first we need to learn C. People are having this kind of awareness. But straightly I'm telling that Java, core Java is a foundation language, fundamental programming language. No need to learn any other prerequisite. Core Java is a prerequisite. Core Java is a fundamental topic. For this fundamental, no other prerequisite is available. Directly we can start with Java. So to specify this particular point only, I'm giving some comparison like what there, Java with the C, C++. What exactly the differences are available, what differences you understood. We are going to say clearly why Java is good when compared with the C and C++. All the things we are going to be covered there. That's one thing now. After that, after completion of this, after understanding the differences, no, next one is like what there, Java features. In a 5 minutes of time, what is Java? If you want to know what exactly the behavior of the Java, what is the nature of the Java, if you want to know within 5 minutes of time, there we have to go with what there, Java features topic. Java features, the topic here we have to understand if you want to know what exactly the meaning of Java. Leave this one. After completion of this, next one is Java programming format. Java programming format, like what there, if you want to write a program, what exactly the format here we have to follow, what is the structure we have to follow to write Java program, that we are going to understand inside this Java programming format. After the Java programming format, no, the next one is like what there, Java naming conventions, or else maybe I'll make it is a fourth one. This I want to say fifth one, Java naming conventions, where to use lowercase letters and where to use uppercase letters, that I am going to discuss. After that, here we are able to see like what there, Java programming format. That's overall, these are the topics which are available inside like what their introduction part. Yes, sir. All of you are following or not? There's only titles one I've given up to now. Nothing I started here. Okay. Now shall we start the first topic? No. No response. Right. And the first one, very first one is like what there, Java history. Right, sir. Understand it. Before starting this topic, I'm giving clarity. This topic is only knowledge purpose. Nobody will ask questions on this. Not at all important in the point of project work. Not at all important in the point of interview. But every Java developer should know what exactly the reason why Java is coming into the picture. Who has provided Java? Why the Java is coming? Basic awareness that I am going to discuss now. Right. Observe carefully. Tell me guys, all of you now tell me, on which year Java first version was provided to the market? 1990, 1995, 1996. It's a confusion, right? 19. 91. No. Right, anyway, I'm giving clarity. 1996, January 23rd. 1996, January 23rd. The very first version of the Java was introduced to the market. 1996, January 23rd. The very first version of the Java was introduced. Observe carefully. Java was provided in 1996, January 23rd, in the sense preparation was started before 1996. Preparation for Java programming language was started before 1996. But when it was started, what are the roots for this particular one? Observe carefully. In 1991, exactly, you remember the date exactly, but that is not the startup point of the Java. That is a point here. Understand it clearly. In 1991, Sun Microsystems had a requirement to prepare a new programming language in order to prepare softwares for the electronic consumer devices. Like what are the electronic consumer devices here? Like cable TV, switch boxes, next remote controllers, and so on and so on and so on. Electronic consumer devices. In 1991, Sun Microsystems had a requirement. They want to prepare a new programming language in order to prepare softwares for the electronic consumer devices like cable TV, switch boxes, remote controllers, and so on and so on. This is actual root for Java programming language. This is a requirement by Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. Got it or not? Right. Observe carefully. Understand it clearly. This is actual requirement. For this particular requirement, Sun Microsystems has gathered 30 engineers. Sun Microsystems has gathered how many members there? 30 engineers as a team led by James Gosling. I think you already aware about this name, right? Familiar. Sun Microsystems has gathered 30 engineers led by James Gosling and Patrick Nathan. Patrick Nathan is another person. They are the two members lead for this 30 members team. Right or not? All right. With the 30 members team, Sun Microsystems has started. What they started there, Sun Microsystems started a project named as Green project. With this 30 members team, Sun Microsystems has started a project named as what there? Green project, to prepare a new programming language. Yes, sir. Come again. What exactly the requirement of the Sun Microsystems? At 1991, Sun Microsystems had a requirement to prepare a new programming language in order to prepare softwares for the electronic consumer devices like cable TV, switch boxes, remote controllers, and so on. So it's a matter of electronic devices. For electronic devices, Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. That is a requirement of Sun Microsystems in 1991. Clear? Sun Microsystems has gathered nearly 30 engineers as a team to prepare this new programming language. The team leads are James Gosling and Patrick Nathan. Observe carefully. James Gosling and Patrick Nathan. Actually, Patrick Nathan is a key person there in Sun Microsystems. But whole credit is available with what there? James Gosling. Strictly speaking, James Gosling was available with Sun Microsystems up to Java 3rd version only. After the 3rd version, he left from Sun Microsystems. He went to some other organization. Now he is not with Sun Microsystems or Oracle Corporation. But up to 3rd version of the Java only, James Gosling was available. At the startup point of time, James Gosling is the lead for it. But actual key person in this entire total Java journey is what there, Patrick Nathan. Still Patrick Nathan is available with the Java. Still is a part of the Java. Understand it now? Okay, leave this one. But most of the people are saying that father of Java. Who is the father of Java? James Gosling. James Gosling is the father of the Java. Okay, it's okay, fine. Next one is, with the 30 members team, Sun Microsystems gathered or started a project named as what their green project. Okay, fine. In a green project, they want to start a new programming language. They want to start a new programming language. In that new programming language, they want to see three main features. Understand it here? Still they are in analysis mode only. Just think of it. We are at 1991. We have an intention. We want to create a new programming language. But before going to start to prepare new programming language, before starting its implementation, first we have to analyze it. What features we want to see in that new programming language? What we want to implement in this new programming language? There, if we come for this point, Sun Microsystems wants to see three main features in their new programming language. What are the three main features they want to see on their new programming language? First one is a simple programming language. Come on, sir. Then what is this first one, Kirno? A simple programming language. And the second one is tight coded programming language. Tight coded programming language. And the third one, they want to see architectural neutral programming language. Architectural neutral programming language. These three features they want to see on their new programming language. Still, they did not started to prepare new programming language. Still, they're in analysis part. A team was formed. They gathered. They started a project. Inside this, they want to see on paper what features they want to implement. Finally, they identified three features they want to provide in their new programming language. What are the three features they want to see in their new programming language? First one is what there? Simple. Next one is what there? Tight coded. Next one is what there? Architectural neutral programming language. Now we are going to elaborate. We are going to elaborate. All right, sir. Why that programming language is a simple programming language? How that programming language is a simple programming language? How Java people are saying that their programming language? How Sun Microsystems is saying that their programming language is a simple programming language? Right. If we come for this point, they are given some reasons. What are the reasons here they have given there? First one is the programming language must take less execution time. The programming language must take what there? Less execution time. Within less execution time, that entire program has to be executed. And second reason, they are given that the programming language should take less memory. Less execution time. Another one is what there? Less memory. And the third one is a funny thing. Even myself also initially I didn't believe that, but after getting information from Sun Microsystems documentation, I came to know that okay, this is also a valid reason. What they are given there? Less power consumption. I thought of it. What is the relation between programming language and power consumption there? But they had given some kind of reason. What was the reason? That we have to understand clearly. Right, sir. Anyway, I'll talk about it clearly. Now let's come for this one. What is this first one here now? Less execution time. Less execution time. What's the impact of this less execution time? Simple example, guys. All of you observe carefully. Very simple point. For example, so I'm watching a football match in my TV channel. The channel number is what there? ESPN. It is available at 72 channel number. Watching a football match. My friend made a call to me. Just had a small discussion. Then after that, he asked to me, then what we are doing at present. Just I said to him, just I'm watching a football match. Immediately said to me, "Are a fool? Why you are watching that football match? At other channel, Star Sports 1 channel, there is a cricket match between India and Pakistan. The match is going on effectively. Pakistan were batted. They got nearly 321 runs. Indians were started batting. Almost all 49 overs are completed. Last over is remaining. In last over, 21 runs India has to get. At one side, crease Dhoni is there. At other side, Ishant Sharma is another fielder. They are the two batsmen. They are fighting for win. While you're watching that football match, then try to change your channel and watch that cricket match. My friend has given this clue for me. Then immediately, then as per my friend's information, I'm getting crazy on what their cricket match. Obviously, I want to change my channel. And I've taken remote controller. Remote controller I've taken. I know that ESPN channel is what they 72. Star Sports 1 is going on at 75 channel. So I've taken my remote controller where I typed 7 and 5 on the remote controller. Then what happened there? It has not switched immediately. After some time, it has switched. After some time, when it was switched, when I observed the cricket match, there what happened? Man of the match presentation is going on. Dhoni is getting man of the match. Didn't see in that cricket match. I thought of it, at least I want to see the last over. I on time only I've taken remote controller and I changed the channel, but my TV was not switched immediately. It has taken some time. The moment when it was switched, when I observe there what's going on, their man of the match presentation is going on. MS Dhoni is getting man of the match. He got nearly 70 plus runs. Where is the problem? Watching football match is a problem from my side. Giving late intimation by my friend is a problem. And match between India and Pakistan is a problem, no? Huh? All right, sir. The problem is where remote controller is a problem. Not with the TV. Remote controller is a problem. Understand it. Inside the remote controller, what happened there? Inside the remote controller, when I type a 7-5 channel number, immediately it is not performing its functionality. It has taken some time. It has taken some time to perform its functionality. Means that internally there is a program. Inside the remote controller, there is a program. When I type 7-5, internally that program has to be executed. That execution time of that program is taking more. When it has taken more execution time, performance of the remote controller is reduced. When more execution time is taken, performance of the remote controller is reduced. When performance of the remote controller is reduced, automatically end user will not satisfy about our product. Whatever the remote controller product here we have taken, I'm not satisfied about my product. In the next attempt, if I want to take any remote controller, I will not take this particular remote controller. I will buy some other remote controller. If I get my point or not? So your understand point, when execution time is more, automatically performance of the application is less. When execution time is less, automatically performance of the application is what there more. Understand it clearly. One more example I'm taking there. Previously, I have a tab, Samsung tab. When I want to go for some hotel or somewhere else, when I want to pay the bill, I need to scan. Then through PhonePe, I want to pay the bill. I need to scan that QR code or whatever it may be. I want to scan it. When I'm trying to scan it now, then it may take 1 or 1.5 minute of time. I need to adjust that scanner, then only I'm able to get it. Sir, got it or not? Okay, after that, when I type the payment, when I click on pay, maybe some circle is rotating. After that only it might be paid. Then up to the time I have to monitor it, I have to check it. How much time now? In some situation that phone pay problem may be that circle is rotating only throughout the life. It's not completing it. Sir, got it or not? So finally I got irritation over my tab. I decided I don't want to use this tab. Then I want to buy a new mobile phone. I want to take a new mobile phone. After that, I waited almost 6 months of time to buy a new mobile phone, but very good mobile phone I want to take. It's a real-time example I'm telling you. I experienced it with that. Then finally, I came to know that most of the people are suggested to me, try to take iPhone. But I inquired about it. iPhone is very good phone, but the problem is what there, all operations are total in reverse. Then I recognize it. Up to at least 1 week out of I have to spend my time to understand the functionality of that mobile phone. But I don't like it. When technology is increased, flexibility I have to get. But again, I have to sit separately for that phone to learn, in the sense, who will lesson that 1 week of time. I thought of it. Next level best phone is what? Some other people have suggested to me, take OnePlus mobile phone. That's okay. That is good thing. In OnePlus also, which one is the top end? There I identified it. So I checked for it. OnePlus mobile phone might be there. Some variants are available. 4 GB RAM, 8 GB RAM, 12 GB RAM. But one more variant is available. That is what there, 16 GB RAM. Yeah, that I want to take. When 16 GB RAM, in the sense, somewhat speed is coming there. Then I've taken. Right? This is a mobile phone. I've taken it. OnePlus. When I taken this, when I go to the restaurant now, when I want to scan it now, even just like in a flash, if I rotate my mobile like it, my mobile phone like it, automatically it's scanning now. Now tell me, understand the difference no? Previously my tab I have to rotate like a bus steering. Now it's a fraction of a second. Just if I show like this, automatically it's scanning now. Which one is better no? Forget about money. Which one is better no? Mobile phone. This OnePlus mobile phone is better or not? Or maybe Apple phone, iPhone is better or not? See, that is a end user feeling. End user is satisfying now. End user must be satisfied. So here the point is what there. And moreover, in my phone pay, when I click on it, as per this 5G network, maybe as per this phone, new mobile phone might be, when I click on, even my finger is also not touching on that icon, app icon, automatically it's open. Automatically it's asking about the money. When I type it now, within fraction of seconds, the payment is going on. In my mobile phone, nearly 28 GB RAM is there. 16 GB is a physical RAM and 12 GB is virtual RAM. Understand it clearly what I'm telling you. So here the point is not like mobile phone and not like another one. Less execution time, more performance, and user is happy. More execution time, less performance, and user is not happy. We are preparing all the software products and everything for the sake of satisfying end user. When end user is happy, then the product is getting very good demand. When end user is not happy, product is not getting demand. That's why now the execution time is providing impact or not. Execution time is important factor or not. So because of that reason, Sun Microsystems wants to prepare their new programming language. Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. It has to take less execution time and it has to provide more performance for their applications. That is, Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. It must take less execution time and it has to provide what there, more performance. This is a clear-cut information here. What I'm telling you. This is a punch here. Next one is what? After completion of this, lesser memory. All of you guys observe carefully. What next one here? Less memory. What is this less memory actually? What we are thinking about less memory? Everybody understand it clearly. For example, I want to take a computer, guys. I want to take a laptop. Again, this is an example here. Just 1 year back, I have taken this laptop. Previously, I had all-in-one PC. In that all-in-one PC, what happened there? By default, they have given memory is what they're only 4 GB RAM. Lenovo all-in-one PC, 4 GB RAM they have given. When I'm trying to open my enterprise applications now, then myself is a person, I used to take the classes for entire Java, maybe advanced Java, or like what their frameworks, like different things. When I open Oracle database in my laptop now, it's getting some delay, slow down, totally slow down. When I open my server, WebLogic server and Oracle database there, it's totally slow down. When I click on this execute button there, it is taking some time here. Even the Eclipse side is not responding in some situation. So I faced a lot of problems there now. Then after that, I decided I want to take a new laptop. I went to the computer shop. In the computer shop, might be there is a representative. I asked him, I want to take a laptop. Can you give some like quotation for my laptop? Fine, he has given a quotation. What was that quotation he has given there? Total, all the motherboard and RAM, like ROM, all peripherals and everything he has given there. Then finally he said to me, the cost of the laptop is 48,000 Lenovo. Where I seen that 48,000 they have given, then I observed it, what components they have included. A motherboard and operating system, everything is okay. But where I identified the RAM size is only 8 GB RAM. What's that GB there? 8 GB RAM. I identified it. And then immediately I thought of it. Actually, previously 4 GB RAM. It was totally slowed down. Again, if I take 8 GB RAM, if I open 2 to 3 other softwares, no, again it's getting slow or not? Again, it is slow down or not? So now with 8 GB RAM, I'm not satisfying with that. Just I requested him, can you make it is 12 GB RAM or 16 GB RAM like this? Yes. Okay, no problem. I can take this. You can take directly this one. Later, I have a service center. In my service center, I'm going to make it is 16 GB RAM like this. Okay. Then okay, I accepted it. Then immediately I was taking that quotation paper where he changed the cost of the laptop is what there now this time 55,000. Previously 48,000. Now it is what there 58,000, 55,000. What happened? When memory is increased, automatically cost of the product is increased or not? Memory is a costful. When memory is increased, automatically cost of the end product is increased or not? No, my laptop previously 48,000. When I made it is a 16 GB RAM, automatically it is increased. Its cost is increased 55,000. So now tell me, if it is more cost, who will take that particular component? No? Who will take that particular product? If it's more cost, who will take it? No. One simple example, one more example I can take. The same OnePlus phone, originally it has number of variants, 16 GB RAM, 256 memory. At the same time, 16 GB RAM and 512 memory is also available. But that OnePlus providers have not released 512 memory variant inside in India. Why they are not introduced? What is the reason for it? No, as per the Indian market, 16 GB RAM max. As per the Indians psychology, max majority of the people they are going to buy the mobile phone within the range of like 20,000, 25,000, max 30, 35. Less number of people are going to take the mobile phones up to 50,000 or maybe 70,000. Market is not going to be high for the 70,000 like this. 512 variant is having the cost is nearly 59,000, 60 plus, 60,000 plus. They understood that people are not going to take that mobile phone. They stopped it. That variant they stopped it. Lower variants they released it. But in China they are released it. In US it was released there. But in India only they are not released. Why? They understood the business of Indian people, the psychology of Indian people. So which is not going to be taken more. Because of that reason they stopped that variant here now. Memory is the point is what their memory. Understand my point, Ken? If the cost is more, people are not ready to take that. Reasonable cost is required or not? Okay, when cost will be increased, when memory is increased. When memory is reduced, cost of the product is reduced. Am I right or not? When memory is increased, cost of the end product will be increased. When memory is lesser, cost of the end product will be lesser. Because of that reason, Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. It must take less memory for executing its applications. Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. It must take less memory, not more memory. Within less memory, that programs have to be executed. In that way, Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. Sir, all of you get my point or not? That's okay, fine. Let's come to the third point here. What about this third point here? Understand it clearly. Less power consumption. Now, this is a point here. Now, coming for this point. What I identified the content here. Now, try to understand it clearly. For example, if we take remote controller, for example, understand it. Remote controller. Remote controller is working on the base of the batteries or not? Inside the remote controller, some energy is required or not? Some power is required or not? That is through batteries, that energy will be provided or not? Okay, listen carefully. At present, my remote controller must require two batteries. Their lifetime is 6 months of time. For every 6 months of time, I have to change the batteries. The cost of the battery is 100 rupees. So for every 6 months of time, 100 rupees I have to spend for what there? My remote controller. That means maintenance cost of my remote controller for every 6 months of time is what there? 100 rupees. Listen, clear cut information. Okay, fine, leave it. After that, if we observe inside the remote controller, two things are available. One is a software, another one is a hardware. Am I right or not? Two things are available inside the remote controller: software and hardware. In every electronic consumer, in every electronic device, these two things are mandatory: software component and hardware component. When I type some number 7 to previous example, when I type one number on remote controller, software will listen. Software will listen our user action. Then software will give directions to the hardware components to perform this particular action. Say for example, power button if I type. When I click on power button, software will listen it. Okay, user wants to switch off this. Then immediately that software will give instructions to the hardware component. Hardware component will do the action physically. Hardware component will do the action physically. Hardware component will switch off the device. Software component will not switch off the device. Only hardware component will switch off the device, but software component will give information to the hardware component. Yes, sir. Got it or not? What I am telling them. So when I type some number on my remote controller, software will listen user action. Software will pass that instructions to the hardware component. Hardware component will do the real action. So finally, what I required now, some interaction is required between software and hardware or not? Some interaction is required between software component and hardware component or not? All right, sir. Listen carefully. If that interaction is less energy consumption is going on. If the software component is interacting with the hardware component more interaction is available between software component and hardware component, automatically energy consumption will be more. Please recognize my point, Ken. Automatically energy consumption will be more. Am I right or not? When energy consumption is more between software component and hardware component, automatically the battery's lifetime will be reduced or not? Batteries are drained up or not? Battery's lifetime will be reduced or not? Previously, for every 6 months of time, we have to change the batteries, no? But now, because of this more hardware interaction, for every 3 months of time, we have to change the batteries, no? That means for every 3 months of time, we have to put 100 rupees, no? Now, maintenance cost of the end product is increased or not? Maintenance cost of the end product is increased or not? Because of this reason, Sun Microsystems wants to prepare their new programming language. It should have less hardware interaction. It should require less energy consumption. It should require like what there? Less power consumption. When it is less power consumption, automatically maintenance cost of the end product will be reduced. Maintenance cost of the end product will be reduced. Sir, all of you get my point or not? Maintenance cost is also be very important. As per the survey, if you observe this, in Indian market, two types of cars are available. What are the two types of cars now? Like diesel cars and petrol cars. Which one is getting more now? Tell me in outside market, no? Petrol cars or diesel cars now? Diesel cars are selling more. Why? Cost of the diesel is somewhat less when compared with what there? Petrol. Am I right or not? No, but nowadays the trending is what there? Electric cars. Electric cars. One time is a payment now, but every time we have to recharge it. No petrol, nothing else. Right or not? So maintenance cost definitely. And the product maintenance cost is also the important factor. Customers may be attracted for the less maintenance cost only. Am I right or not? Here also be Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language that should take less power consumption, means that less maintenance cost. Sir, still this is the idea of Sun Microsystems. This is the analysis of the Sun Microsystems to prepare their new programming language. Still, new programming language was not prepared, not started. New programming language was not yet started. Just it is the idea of Sun Microsystems, what they want to see on their new programming language. Then immediately what happened here? No, observe carefully. They started to prepare new programming language in 1991. They took nearly 2 years of time to prepare this new programming language. Entire 1991 this taken, and up to end of 1992 they prepared new programming language. They completed the preparation of the new programming language. Just 1 minute, guys. I think so. Just only one factor I discussed here. What is that factor there? Simple only I discussed here. Remaining two factors here I have to discuss. After that, I'll go for the completion of the new programming language. Now let's come for this one. What is this next one again? Tight coded programming language. What is the meaning of this tight coded programming language, guys? Observe carefully, all of you know. Say for example, all of you are aware about this stack operations. Stack, one of the data structure. Do you aware about it stack now? Any idea on this stack? Any idea on this stack? Right, sir. Stack is a data structures. Am I right or not? What are the various operations for the stack now? Tell me. First one is like what there? Push. And second one is like what there? Pop. Actually, there is a third one, that is what there? Peak. Push in the sense inserting an element. Pop in the sense read and remove. Read and remove. Peak in the sense just read but not remove. Peak is what there? Just read what is top of the element. That's it. But not remove. They are the three operations. Good, nice. In the C programming language, I'm asking this question to you. Now try to answer it. Just general knowledge only. To perform push operation on an average, we are going to take nearly 20 lines of code. 20 lines of code on an average. To perform pop operation again, 20 lines of code we are going to take. To perform peak operations again here, 20 lines of code here we are going to take. Overall, in C programming language, to perform the stack operations, how many lines of code here we are going to consume there? 60 lines of code on an average here we are able to consume. How many lines of code here we are going to consume there? 60 lines of code. Yes, sir, got it or not? Understand it, no? Same stack operations in Java. Same stack operations in Java. If you observe this, all of you observe carefully. Same stack operations in Java. If you think about it, stack S is equal to new stack as a predefined class. S dot push of complete. My push operation is completed. S dot pop, my pop operation is completed. S dot peak, my peak operation is completed. Finish. Now tell me overall in Java, how many lines of code is available totally? Total, how many lines of code is available here? 4 lines of code is existing. But in C and C++, 60 lines of code. But in Java, 4 lines of code. Listen carefully. If any programming language is taking more number of finish sections, then that programming language is a loose coded programming language. What is that programming language there? Loose coded programming language. For a particular requirement, if any programming language is taking more and more number of finish sections, no, then that programming language is what there? Loose coded programming language. If any programming language is taking less number of finish sections, less number, stack operations are same in C, in Java, but in C 60 lines of code, in Java 4 lines of code. If any programming language is taking less number of finish sections to perform the same stack operation, to perform the same operations, no, then that programming language is loose tight coded programming language. That programming language is what there? Tight coded programming language. Now tell me here, C programming language and Java, two examples I have taken. Which programming language is a tight coded programming language? Come on, which programming language is tight coded programming language? Obviously Java. Java is what the tight coded programming language, but C is what their loose coded programming language. Why? Because it takes more number of instructions to perform a particular operation, but in the case of Java, it will take only less number of instructions to perform the same operation kernel. So that's the meaning of like what their tight coded programming language. Right, last one is like what their architectural neutral programming language. What is the last one here? Architectural neutral programming language. What is the meaning of this architectural neutral programming language? No, observe carefully. Straightforward information. Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. It should not be bound with a particular operating system and a particular hardware system. It must be executed its applications in all the operating systems, in all the hardware systems. In that way, they want to prepare a new programming language. That means what's the point I'm telling there? Independent of all the hardware systems, independent of all the hardware systems. In every hardware system, the Java has to execute its applications. In that way, they want to prepare their new programming language. That's why they have taken the factor is what their architectural neutral. Architecture in the sense hardware system. Neutral to the hardware systems. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? Now tell me, all of you know, Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language in green project. That new programming language must have three features. What features they want to see on that new programming language? Simple programming language, tight coded programming language. Then what next one here? Architectural neutral programming language. Yes, sir, got it or not? What's the meaning of simple programming language? Less execution time, less memory, less power consumption. What's the meaning of tight coded here? No, less number of instructions, more implementation. Less number of instructions and more productivity. Less number of instructions, more implementation. Right. What's the meaning of this architectural neutral? It's an independent to all the hardware systems. It can run its applications in every hardware system. It can run its applications in every hardware system. This is what exactly the meaning of like what the architectural neutral programming language. Yes, sir. All of you are getting my point or not? So finally, what happened here? No, the total somewhat information here I discussed about this history. Right. After this, right, sir. Then few more points are remaining here. Then almost another time is like 6:35. No, can I discuss the remaining part tomorrow? Right. Then few days only 1 hour class I'm going to take. Then after that, I'm going to take your class right from 4:30. Yes, sir. Got it or not? Now 5:30 I'm taking the class. Now 4:30 to 6 is an official time for us for our class. Now, but up to these classes, I'm going to take like this 1 hour 5:30 to 6:30 like this. After that, I will start our class at what time there? 4:30. Please remember this. Okay. But when onwards I'm going to take this, I'll give intimation to you clearly in our classes. Okay. Then tomorrow I'll continue the remaining part here. Tomorrow we are going to see the content. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Which one? Yeah, sure, sure. Every class is recorded. Please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online, please confirm to me, guys. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are going to be. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online, guys, please type in questions box. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Yeah, yeah. Guys, then advanced Java at 7:30 batch is not for you. Don't come for that advanced Java class. That is not at all for you. Guys, please remember this. What I'm telling there. Advanced Java batch at 7:30 is not for you. Okay, Praveen, Vajir, Praveen. Then just I'm giving clarity. Don't join for advanced Java. Then now immediately it's not required. Then for you separately, I will start advanced Java. Okay. For you separately, I'm going to start advanced Java. Clear? Right. Right. Thank you. Right. Good evening, guys. And check it. What content here we discussed it there. And I want to give some notes related link for this classes there. Now let us go for this document here. I've given some document already, some content. Right, so just give 2 minutes of time, or else maybe let me complete the remaining part here in the Java history. Then at the end, I will give the document URL for the sake of this notes. I will give that. Okay, right. Now, come for the content here. What we completed there in the last class, no? Java history, the total part here I started here, where up to some part of the history I started. Okay, what topic here we started there? What is the requirement to provide Java programming language to the market? If we come for this point, answer is very clear. In 1991, Sun Microsystems had a requirement to prepare a new programming language in order to prepare softwares for electronic consumer devices like cable TV switch boxes, remote controllers, and so on. For this particular reason, why Sun Microsystems decided to prepare a new programming language. For that, they have taken nearly 30 members team led by James Gosling and Patrick Nathan. With this 30 members team, Sun Microsystems has started a project. What is the name of the project there? Green Project. Green Project was started. In Green Project, they want to prepare a new programming language. That programming language should have some features. What features they want to provide in their new programming language? That new programming language should be what there? Simple. That new programming language should be what there? Tight coded. That new programming language should be what there? Architectural neutral. Sir, are you getting it or not? Then immediately we have to think about it. Why it should be simple programming language? What exactly the factors they have included for the simple programming language? All right. That programming language is simple. Why? Because that programming language should take less execution time. That programming language should take less memory. That programming language should take like what there less power consumption, less energy consumption, whatever it may be. Now tell me, what is the impact of this less execution time? I given some points here. If that execution time is less, performance of the end product will be increased or not? Next one, if the less memory, if the end product is having less memory, automatically cost of the product will be reduced or not? Next one, if the energy consumption is less or power consumption is lesser, maintenance cost of the end product will be reduced. These are the impacts of this all the features. No. So anyway, whatever it may be, Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. It should be a simple programming language. It must have less execution time. It must take less memory, and it must take less power consumption. The other points here. Next one is second one is what the tight coded. What is the meaning of this tight coded here? No, already I've taken an example. Stack is an example I've taken. In stack, we are able to perform three types of operations. What are the three types of operations here we are performing there? Push operation, pop operation, pick operation. In a C programming language, to perform push operation, nearly 20 lines of code here we are going to consume. To perform pop operation, again 20 lines of code here we are going to consume. On an average, again 20 lines of code for the sake of what their peak operation. Overall, how many instructions here we are going to consume for stack operations? No, 60 lines of code. But in the case of Java programming language, the same stack operations we are able to complete within 4 lines of code. Just within 4 lines of code, we can complete it, the same stack operations. Got it or not? All right, sir. Now here the point is what? Point is what there? If any programming language takes a less number of instructions to implement a particular requirement, or to implement a particular requirement, to provide coding part for a particular requirement, if any programming language takes less number of instructions, then that programming language is called tight coded programming language. That programming language is what their tight coded programming language. Now tell me, between C and Java, I given some comparison. In between C and Java, which one is a tight coded and which one is a loose coded here? No, C is what their loose coded, but Java is what their tight coded programming language. Good. Next one is what? After this, architectural neutral programming language. What's the meaning of this architectural neutral programming language? No, what's the meaning of it? No, I given one simple statement here. Okay. Before that, I want to give some explanation. Now try to understand it clearly. For example, listen, all of you listen carefully. For example, I'm taking Java classes now. Listen, understand carefully. I'm taking Java classes now. Of course, today I'm providing some demo class, for example. Okay. And outside of this classroom, if I put a bot, notice, what is that notice there? If you want to attend Java classes, you must be a BTech graduate and you must be a computer science student. Then only you're eligible to attend my class. If I put a board like this, assume it, how many members can attend my classes? Point number one. Case number one, I said to you. Case number two, same. If I put a notice in my notice board, any graduate can attend my Java classes. No restrictions. Any graduate can attend my Java classes. No restrictions. If I put this board in outside, two cases I've given there. In which case more number of people will come? Definitely second case. Any graduate can attend my class in the sense all members are eligible to attend my classes. Second case, more number of students will come. When more number of students are listening my class, automatically more demand will be increased for my class. Not only in the point of my classes there, I'm telling that I have a product. When my product is available to the more number of people, automatically more demand will come for that product. If my product is available for less number of people, automatically demand for my product will be reduced. Am I right or not? When my product is available, when my product is required for more number of people, more demand will come. When my product is required for less number of people, less demand will come. Am I right or not? But when it is possible to make available my product to more number of people, when more number of people are eligible, then it is available to more number of people. When less number of people are eligible, for less number of people only my product is reachable. That's my point. So similarly, here the point is what? Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new programming language. It must not be bound with any particular operating system. It must not be bound with any particular hardware system. It must be available to every operating system and every hardware system. It must be available to every operating system and every hardware system. In that way, Sun Microsystems wants to provide their new programming language. Then only it will be available to everybody in outside. I'll forget my point or not. So because of that reason only, Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a programming language, new programming language. It should be like what there, an architectural neutral programming language. Here the architectural in the sense what there, hardware system. Architecture is what there, hardware system. Right, sir. That new programming language should be, right, programming languages should be independent of all the hardware systems, independent of all the what their hardware systems. Automatically it will come independent of all the operating systems also. So because of that reason, this programming language is what there, an architectural neutral programming language. That's it. Now these are the three qualities or features that some people wants to see on their new programming language. Is that all of you getting my points or not clearly what I'm telling you now? Right, sir. Now this is okay, fine. This is clear cut information here. We can understand. Okay, fine. All right, sir. At the end of 1992, at the end of 1992, new programming language was prepared, completed. The programming language was completed at the end of what there? 1992. That's okay, completed. Then after completion of this after completion of this new programming language, some people wants to give a name to this new programming language. Sun Microsystems wants to give a particular name to the new programming language. They are searching for the name. They are searching for the name. They want to give a name for the new programming language. Understand it clearly now. Meanwhile, what James Gosling has done there, when he sat in his cabin at Sun Microsystems, he always likes to see one type of tree through his cabin window. When he sat in his cabin, he always likes to see one type of tree through his cabin window. Okay, the name of the tree is what there? Oak is the name of the tree. He had a thought. He wants to give this oak is the name to the new programming language. Then, as he liked that particular tree, as you like to see this particular tree through his cabin window, he wants to give this name to the new programming language. Then he has sent that proposal to Sun Microsystems. James Gosling has sent the proposals to Sun Microsystems. Unfortunately, Sun Microsystems has rejected James Gosling's opinion. Sun Microsystems has not accepted the James Gosling's proposals. Why? What is the reason for it? No, reason is very simple. Before 1992, before 1991, there was a programming language whose name is Voc. Already one programming language is already existed with the name is what there Voc. So we should not give again the same name to our new programming language. If we give the same name or related name to our new programming language, people may think about it. It may be an extension of the old programming language. Unnecessarily, we are going to lose the identity for our new programming language. Our new programming language lost its identity if we give this type of name there. Then again, people are searching for a new name for the new programming language. Is it? All of you are getting it or not? Clearly no. All right, sir. Then while searching for the name or while doing this, while preparing this new programming language, all Sun engineers are used to go for their cafeteria at Sun Microsystems. Canteen. Cafeteria in the sense canteen. They used to go for their cafeteria at Sun Microsystems. At Sun Microsystems cafeteria, they used to take one brand labeled coffee. They used to take one brand labeled coffee or tea, whatever it may be. One brand labeled coffee they used to take at Sun Microsystems there. What was that brand labeled coffee they have taken there? The name of that brand labeled coffee is what there? Java. The name of the brand labeled coffee is what there? Java. They used to take the Java coffee at Sun Microsystems cafeteria, tea or coffee, whatever it may be. They used to take this drink. The name of the drink is what there? Java. Okay. Then immediately, what happened there? The Sun people are getting this kind of thought. They send this proposal to the Sun Microsystems. Just we want to give the Java is a name to the new programming language. Then immediately Sun Microsystems has accepted this name to give for new programming language. Finally, they are given name for the new programming language is what there? Java. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? All right, sir. Now this is a point here I'm telling there. So Java is a name for the new programming language. Because of this reason only, we can understand it clearly. In Google, if you search for Java symbol, if you identify this, what you are getting there? Understand it? This is a symbol for Java because of that reason only. Yeah, tea cup or coffee cup, that doesn't matter. And whatever it may be, some cup, saucer, some flames. Understand it now? So because of that reason only. Now, another point here I'm telling there, observe carefully. Java beans symbol. I think so. Here it is available. This is okay, but perfect symbol is not available. EJB symbol, if you observe this, not Java beans, no. EJB's symbol logo. Yeah, it's okay. EJB's logo is okay. Where? No, it is not coming like this. Yeah, Java beans better. EJB logo, I thought of it different. Java beans logo. Yes, sir. What this now? Is a coffee bean or maybe whatever it may be, some kind of thing now. See, observe this carefully. Then all these names are somewhat related with what their coffee only. All the names which are related with Java is what their coffee only. Am I right or not? But if you identify the names with the Python name is what there? Snake name, right? Framework is what there? Django, Jungle. Right. Then apart from this, Spider. IDs in the case of Python, right? Like this. Just I'm kidding there. They are not having any such type of intention. No, just try to understand it clearly. All right, sir. Anyway, so the point like what I'm telling to you in this scenario, what is the point here I'm telling to you about this? The symbol for Java is what there? A cup, saucer, and flames. It means like what there? Tea cup or might be then coffee cup. Whatever it may be, coffee or tea, something else. No. Okay, fine. That was clear. Name was given. After giving this name, after giving this particular name to this programming language, at the end of 1992, they prepared the first product on the base of the Java. At the end of the 1992, they prepared the first product in the base of the Java. The name of that first product is what there? Star 7. Understand it clearly. The very first product on Java is a Star 7. It is a remote controller. It's a what there? It's a remote controller. But what is the status of it now? It is a failure product. It's totally a failure product. Sun Microsystems has waited nearly 1.5 years of time to find a customer to take the Star 7. But they didn't identify even a single customer to take the Star 7. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? What I'm telling there. The very first product on the base of the Java is what there? Star 7. Sun Microsystems has waited nearly 1.5 years of time to find a customer for what there? The Star 7. But they did not identify even a single customer for the Star 7. It's a totally failure product. Good. 1.5 years of time. In the mid of 1994, at the end of 1992, they prepared Star 7. No product, no customer is available. Nearly 1.5 years of time they waited. In the mid of 1994, there is a demand for www as part of internet. That internet era was started in the mid of 1994 in abroad. In India, when it was started there, in India, that the internet era was started in the year of 2000, 2001 in that time. Sir, are you aware about it now? And outside might be internet centers are available. There is some huge business there by the time in outside. Only for the sake of Yahoo chatting only, people are going to the internet centers there by the time. Chatting app is what there? Yahoo chatting by the time. Okay, right, sir. So internet era was started by this particular 2000, 2001 in India, but in abroad in the mid of 1994. Okay. All right. In the mid of 1994, there is a demand for a www as part of internet. Wherein www, the key feature, the key component is a browser. What is the key component for this www? Browser. See, without having browser, how it is possible to open internet? How it is possible to open our websites? No, not possible. So the key component is what? The browser. Right. By the time, very good demand is available for the browsers. By the time, very good demand is available for the browsers. What browser is available there at that moment there? In the mid of 1994, Mosaic is a browser which is available in outside. Mosaic is a browser name. All right. This browser is getting very good demand. Only that browser is a leading browser in outside there. That was prepared by Mark Anderson. Who is this person actually? This Mark Anderson is an undergraduate student at Illinois University at Chicago, Illinois University. All right. He went to the Netscape Communications. He went to what the Netscape Communications for the sake of his internship work. For the sake of project work, he went to the Netscape Communications company. There he prepared this browser as part of his project work. To prepare this browser, he took nearly $6.25 per hour. Hourly basis. Per hour, he took nearly $6.25 to prepare that Mosaic browser. Of course, later on that name was changed. That's a different story. By the time that Mosaic browser is a very good browser, it is getting very good demand in the mid of 1994. Now, Sun Microsystems people are watching that market carefully. Finally, they understood the intention of the browser and importance of the browser. Then Sun Microsystems has thought of it. They want to prepare their own browser. Then finally, in the mid of 1994, they have taken the steps to prepare a new browser. To prepare a new browser, who has taken the responsibility? In the mid of 1994, Sun Microsystems wants to prepare a new browser. That new browser preparation responsibility was given to Jonathan Payne and Patrick Norton. Jonathan Payne and Patrick Norton. Both the members have taken responsibility of creating new browser. In the mid of 1994, they taken that responsibility. Again, they have taken nearly 1.5 years of time. At the end of 1995, they completed a browser, and they have given name for this browser is what their Hot Java browser. At the end of the 1995, they prepared a browser. They have given name for this browser is what their Hot Java browser. On the basis of Java programming language only, they prepared the browser. Inside this hard Java browser, what features of the Java they have used there? If you observe this, internally they have used applets. What was the topic they have used there internally? Applets. Applets is a topic they have used internally. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? What I am telling there? Good. So hard Java browser was introduced in the end of 1995. See, because of this reason only, most of the people are thinking about it. Java was introduced in the end of the 1995. No, by the time Java was not introduced, by the time only hard Java browser was introduced. By the time what happened, the moment when this browser was provided there, now this browser is what there, successful product. So many people are interested for this product. Now this is successful product. Now people are talking about it. Sun Microsystems has prepared a browser. That browser is very good browser. Some reputation is going on in outside. By the time people are talking about it, how this browser was prepared, how this browser was provided by Sun Microsystems there, then everybody they're thinking about it. They're talking about it internally. Might be Sun Microsystems has a new programming language that is Java. On the base of Java, this browser was prepared. People are having awareness on it. Then immediately people are sending the request to Sun Microsystems. Why don't you prepare? Why don't you release the Java programming language to the outside market? Can you please provide the Java programming language to the outside market? Then Sun Microsystems has decided they want to provide the Java programming language to the outside market. To release the Java programming language to the outside market, they have set the date. The date is like what there, 1996, January 23rd. They have taken the date. On this particular date, they released the first version of the Java to the market with the name is like what there, JDK 1.0 version. The very first version of the Java was provided by Sun Microsystems on the year 1996, January 23rd, JDK 1.0 version. After that, every 1 year or every 2 years of time, they're trying to release another next versions like that. In the next 1.5 year of time, 1.1 version, next 1.5 year of time, 1.2 version, and so on and so on and so on and so on. They are trying to release it. In the journey of this total Java, JDK 1.0, this is first version, language introduction is going on, but little bit awareness only. Next one is what there, JDK 1.1 now with some updations. Next one is a JDK 1.2 version. This is a huge version. More and more number of enhancements are provided in this particular version. At present, whatever the Java here we are seeing now, we are observing now, 70% of the Java was provided aligned with 1.2 version only. J2EE, J2ME, J2SE, these three parts are introduced aligned with what version they are now? 1.2 version. So this is a milestone in Java. 1.2 version is what there? Milestone version in Java. Next, after that, namesake versions are available. Like what there? JDK 1.3 version, namesake only. JDK 1.4 version, namesake only. JDK 1.5 version. Again here, more number of enhancements are provided. This is again another milestone. And if you're getting it or not, what I'm telling to you. Then after this, now JDK 1.6 version is namesake. JDK 1.7 is also be namesake. One or two features only, important features. No. Again, JDK 1.8 version is another milestone. Main versions, I'm telling them. All right, so next one is what there, JDK 1.9 version is a utter flop version, failure version. Features are not much. From 1.8 version onwards, Java people are trying to copy the features from other languages. Before that, Java had their own. Other programming languages are copied from Java. But 1.8 version onwards, Java people are trying to copy the features from other programming languages. Best example is Python. Observe carefully, up to JDK 1.6 version, Java was maintained by Sun Microsystems. Right from 1.7 version onward, Java is available with Oracle Corporation. Java was provided by, Java is maintained by Oracle Corporation. When Java was in Oracle Corporation, from that point onwards, hurry burly, they are trying to release number of versions and hurry burly features they are including inside this Java. But of course, then some useful features are available, some of the features are unnecessary, but finally they are maintaining some other content here. So they are searching for other programming language. In other programming language, if any feature is good feature, they are trying to copy that. Now, as per my awareness, I can say 15 to 20 number of features from Python. How I knows about it? No, I thought previously both Python and Java, both. I'm able to teach both Java and Python. I've seen that clearly. Understand it clearly now. Right, sir. Okay, whatever it may be. Next one is like what there? JDK 1.10 version. All right, JDK 1.11 version. Again here, somewhat features are included, but the style of Java release was changed from 1.11 version onwards. From this 1.11 version onwards, Java is becoming as a licensed one. The license agreements are changed. License, the total thing was changed. But it was licensed one. But for which users this is licensed one? Not for everybody. For the students, for the teachers, for the individual development, Java is a freeware. But for the corporate users in the sense in the companies, if they want to use Java, they must take the license. Of course, nominal prices only. Up to that, up to now, it's okay, fine. For corporate users, that license is mandatory. For the normal use, license is not mandatory. So for us, no need to take any license. We can use Java, no problem. But for corporate use in the companies, if you want to use Java, the companies have to take license for Java. From which version of Java onwards? No, Java 1.11 version onwards. Observe carefully. Then after this, JDK 1.12 namesake only. And one more point I'm telling there. Before JDK 11 version, there is a gap from one version to another version, some time gap, nearly 2 years of time, 3 years of time. And especially for releasing 1.8 version, they might be taken nearly 6 or 7 years of time. That much of time they have taken, but once they release one version, in the sense, huge number of updations, more number of features, they might be included there. But from Java 11 version onwards, what Oracle is following there, they want to release Java for every 6 months of time. For every 6 months of time, the Oracle people wants to release a new version for Java. Because of that reason only, immediately we are getting Java 11, Java 12, and JDK 1.13. All right, sir. Now JDK 1.14. In JDK 1.14, somewhat okay, but not huge version. Number of not more number of enhancements, no, but somewhat better when compared with the previous one. Then similarly here, like what there, JDK 1.15. Then what next one here? JDK 1.16. Now after this, JDK 1.17 again. Now here we are having somewhat content here. But of course, as of now here what we are having there, no, JDK 1.18 is existed and JDK 1.19 is available. I think so. As per your says, JDK 1.20 might be. Then we are saying that 20 is also existed then, right? So then it is available. But I didn't check it. 20th version is a long-term support or not, but I don't know. But up to 17th, I followed up. The remaining, of course, I'm going to take all these concepts here. But anyway, but the point I didn't check it. 20th version is a long-term version or not. But up to 17th year, we can understand. These are the milestone versions inside the Java. Sir, if you're getting it or not. But at present, we are having what there? JDK 1.20th version is available that we are going to understand anyway. But I'm telling there, up to JDK 8th version, Java is a stable, completely stable. Afterwards, Java is coming in a rapid manner and like what there? Then rapid manner in the sense, what is the meaning of it? No, in a hurry-burry manner, Java versions are coming. Even I'm telling there, software industry is also be utilized Java 8 version up to this 8 version in a stable manner. Now immediately what happened there, after Java 8 version, no software company is using all the versions now. Now at present, the movement in outside is what there, all companies are trying to migrate directly from 1.8 version to 1.17 version. At present, now companies are directly migrating from 1.8 version to 1.17 directly. Think of it, when companies are using directly 1.17, what is the maintenance. What is the use of these many versions there? They understand that Oracle approach here. Oracle is introducing for every 6 months of time a new version they are introducing now. They have introduced these many versions here, but companies are trying to use directly what they 17 version. Then even they are not touching on, they are not having look on what they're these versions there. Now at present, the trend is going on like this. Moreover, the Spring Boot framework, Spring Boot framework 1.3 version is totally on the basis of the JDK 17, 1.17. So now latest versions of the other frameworks or other tools now, they are prepared on the basis of 1. They are trying to prepare on what there 1.17 version there. That might be the stable version at present. Then immediately may have a question to me now. So okay, these many versions are available, sir. Then which version I have to learn? Which version we have to learn now? What version is required in outside companies there? But I'm giving the reality. Up to JDK 1.8 version, they have used Java stable in a stable mode. Now directly they are switching from 1.8 version to what version they know? 17. So 17 version they are moving in the sense. Definitely we need to have awareness on 17 version or not. Yeah, now as per these companies, as companies are using now Java 17 version now, then definitely we have to migrate up to, we have to update up to Java 17 version or not. Yeah, definitely here we are going to understand up to 20th version as per my responsibility I will discuss there. But as you are the student, if you want to survive in software industry, definitely we should learn up to at least minimum what there JDK 1.17 version. This is mandatory for everybody. Okay, of course then by completing your course, if Java 21 is coming there, I don't have any problem. I'll update it and I will give information to you. But I'll give confirmation to you up to the latest version. Up to the latest version, I'm going to discuss with you. Not only this, if we come with the full stack Java, in full stack Java also every technology I'm going to take up to the latest versions only. Spring Boot 1.3 version is nowadays might be the latest version there. It's a matter of might be then few days of time only. So I'm ready to discuss about that 1. Like what the 3 versions, Spring Boot microservices. Yes, sir. If you're getting my point or not, that I'm planning for that anyway. In the future, we are going to understand this content here. So this is exactly the content about like what there Java history. Yes, sir. All of you are getting clarity now, right? All right, sir. It's okay, fine. But I want to give some permanent link to you, permanent classroom notes document. I want to share with you. Now try to understand it. Say for example, right, sir. Now let me prepare Java 530 PM. 1 minute, sir. Just give a minute of time. Let me create it. Okay, it's okay. All right. All right, sir. All of you take this link, no? Everybody take this link. This link is for your core Java document. Daily I'm going to give the notes here. All right, whatever the notes I given there, even that one also I want to paste here. So this link here we have to use. Okay. Now for the online people, I'm going to share that document, share that notes here in the questions box. Now try to utilize it. All right, sir. tinyurl.com/corejava530 pm notes. Right, sir. And I'm giving clarity to all of you guys. Don't worry. Just this is only starting point of the class there. Then in the syllabus we are able to have steps to prepare first Java application. The topic is available. In the steps to prepare first Java application, I'm going to take like what there, how to download the Java software and how to install Java software, everything I'm going to discuss with you. But let me complete introduction part now. After that, I'm going to talk about what there steps to prepare first Java application. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? All right, so now just I have a trial for it. Now try to check this. Are able to get this document here in the browser? Have you checked it? Or else maybe let me check this. In the browser, just copy and paste this. If we click on it, then automatically here we have to get like what the document. Yes, exactly. Now directly this document here we are getting. 1 minute, guys. 1 minute, wait. Okay. Okay, no problem. Just use this one. There we are able to get directly what there this document. Document we are able to open. There we can see the total content. Directly we are able to get this document. In the future, I will change it. I will give folder share. When more number of concepts are introduced there I will give folder URL. There we can get it clearly. Okay. Right, sir. Right. Now, Java history. The topic is completed here in the introduction content here. The next topic would be differences between what happened? Differences between Java and others. This is the next topic. And if you want to see that introduction classes content here inside this, I'm able to provide even that one also. Okay. Right, sir. Now see this one here, whatever the content here, just I given some content here. Just I want to copy and I want to paste here. Here. Okay. Right, sir. So differences between Java and others. This is the second topic what we are having. All right. Observe carefully. The very first difference here I'm going to provide. All of you observe carefully. The very first difference. What is that first difference here? I'm telling to you. C and C++ are static programming languages. But Java is a dynamic programming language. From this point onwards, our content is very much important. Try to understand it now. Up to this Java history, it's a namesake topic only. But from this point onwards, we have to understand Java effectively. Right, sir. What is the first difference here we are trying to understand there? C and C++ are what there? Static programming languages. But Java is what there? A dynamic programming language. Right, sir. Fine. What exactly the meaning of static programming language and what is the meaning of dynamic programming language? Listen carefully. Straightforward information. Understand it now. If any programming language, if any programming language is providing memory allocation for the data at a compilation time, if any programming language is providing memory allocation for the data at a compilation time, then that programming language is a static programming language. Come again, what is the static programming language? No, if any programming language is providing memory allocation for the data at what time? Compilation time, then that programming language is what their static programming language. Similarly, what is this dynamic programming language? No, if any programming language is providing memory allocation for the data at a runtime, not at compilation time. If any programming language is providing memory allocation for the data at a runtime, not at compilation time, then that type of programming language is what their dynamic programming language. Is it? Or if you get my point or not? That's all. Let me write this point here. Observe carefully. If any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data. Primitive data is what there? Byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, character. This data is available. That is called as what there? Primitive data. If any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data at a compilation time, then that programming language is called static programming language. The programming language is called as what there? Static programming language. What are the examples for the static programming languages? No, if you observe this, C and C++. These programming languages are what there? Static programming languages. All of you are getting it or not? Then similarly, now tell me, how can we say C and C++ are static programming languages? How can you say this point here? No, in C and C++ applications, observe carefully. In C and C++ applications, everybody understand my point here. In C and C++ applications, memory will be provided to the data at a compilation time only. At compilation time only, not at a runtime. Memory will be allocated for the data at what time? No, compilation time only, not at the runtime. Understand it clearly. I'll give diagrammatic representation also. Don't worry for it. But first of all, let me give the definitions. After that, we are going to see internal content here. Right, sir. What is static programming language? No, if any programming language allows memory allocation for the data at a compilation time, primitive data at a compilation time, then that programming language is what there is a static programming language. Examples are what there? C and C++. In a C and C++ applications, memory will be provided to the data at compilation time only, not at the runtime. Right, sir. Now, what about this dynamic programming language? Can you understand it now? Quite opposite point here. What is the dynamic programming language there? If any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data at a runtime, not at compilation time, then that programming language is called what there? A dynamic programming language. The dynamic programming language. Understand it clearly. Right, sir. Then what are the examples for these dynamic programming languages? No, we can understand Java. Of course, Python is also a dynamic programming language and some other programming languages here. How can you say Java is a dynamic programming language? Point is very simple. In Java applications, memory will be allocated for the data at a runtime only. At a runtime only. I'll give one simple point also along with this. Now try to understand it. All of you listen. One more point here. Small point. Tell me, guys. All of you tell me. Java is an object-oriented programming language or not? Java is what there is an object-oriented programming language or not? What is the meaning of object-oriented programming language? Data must be represented in the form of objects. Data must be represented in the form of what their objects. That's the meaning of object-oriented programming language. In Java, when objects are creating at runtime, not at compilation time. In Java, objects are creating at what time there? Runtime, not at compilation time. When objects are creating at runtime, so what is the meaning of it now? When objects are creating at runtime, automatically memory will be allocated for data at what time there? Runtime only. Why? Because data will be stored inside the objects. Data will be stored inside the object. Data will be accommodated inside the objects only in the case of Java. So in Java, when objects are created, then only data is going to be created. It means that Objects are created at runtime in the case of Java, so memory will be created for the data at runtime only. So because of that reason, Java is what there? A dynamic programming language. Java is exactly what there? A dynamic programming language. Yes, sir. Are you following or not? This is that internal content here we can understand clearly now. Right, sir. I need to give one diagram also, but with the lack of the time, I'm not discussing now. So tomorrow I will cover the diagram. Then after that, tomorrow I will continue the second point also there now. Just first point information I've given there. Tomorrow I'll explain some more points here. Then after that, I'm able to explain the remaining content here. But observe carefully. So then few days of time only. I'm going to take 1 hour class for you. Then afterwards, then at 4:30 we have to attend the classes there. 4:30 to 6 o'clock. I'm going to continue these classes with you, right? But all right, then few days of time we have to attend this 1 hour of class. Then after that I will continue with the 4:30 to 6, 1.5 hour class we are going to see, right? Right, sir. And tomorrow we are going to see our content at what time there? 5:30. 5:30 we can come. Then I'll continue the remaining part now, right? Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Till meet you tomorrow. Yeah. Then what is compilation time? Then what is runtime? I will discuss with you guys and tomorrow. Don't worry. Yeah. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Am I audible, guys? Am I audible? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Good evening, guys. Right, sir. In the last session, what we completed there, in the content here we discussed now in the last class. And differences between Java and others. The topic we started there in the last class. In the differences between Java and others, just we have started our conversation. Now let us understand the content here. Introduction topic I started. In that introduction part, what we completed, just a Java history, the topic I completed. Java history, in the sense what there? Java history. Then what is the background story for Java? Why Java is coming? Only these few points I completed there. Okay. Then immediately we started with the differences between Java and others. In others part, what we have taken there, no, C and C++. These two things here I have taken there in the comparison. Then after that, from this, in the comparison here, what we completed there, if you observe this point now, first one is like what there, C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is what there, a dynamic programming language. There are given some kind of points here. Now try to understand it clearly. I want to give some explanation. Already required points I have given there, but I want to give some more explanation. Now try to understand this clearly. Right, sir. For example, all of you observe this clearly. For example, I have written a program. I have written a program. This is what actually .java file. .java or .c, whatever it may say. For example, .c. I've taken it. Here I have written some lines of code, number of instructions. Here I have written coding part. Now tell me, all of you tell me, who has written this program? Developer or not? Developer, programmer has written this code. How programmer has written this code? Programmer has written this code in his understandable language. Developer has written this code in his understandable language. Am I right or not? So what is the developer understandable language? No. Developer understandable language is what? High level language. High level language is what the developer understandable language. Got it or not? Fine. I completed this program. Then I have to execute this program or not? Everybody understand my point here. I have to execute this program or not? To execute this program, here we have to use a mission. Here we have to use what there? A mission. All right. Now here I want to say like what there? Execution. This is like what the execution. This execution would be performed by an engine. In the case of C, that engine is called as what there? C engine. C programs are executed by an engine, C engine. C++ programs are executed by an engine, C++ engine. Similarly, Java programs are executed by an engine, Java engine. Yes, sir. All of you are getting my point or not? C engine, C++ engine, Java engine. Python programs are executed by an engine, Python engine. So different names are available for Java engine and Python engine. Python engine is also be called as PVM, PVM, Python Virtual Machine. Java programs are executed by an engine called as JVM, Java Virtual Machine. In this way, here we are having some other names. So, okay, fine. This is C engine. Good. If you provide this C engine, if you provide this C program to the C engine has to execute that program and it has to give some output. C engine has to execute that program and it has to give some output. What is that output here? It has to provide there some output. Whatever the program we have written, as per that some output here we are getting. But here we have a problem. There is a problem here. What's the problem here? We are able to get. No, observe carefully. Now tell me, C engine is a mission or not? C engine is what there is a mission, just like a some hardware related, or maybe some engine, right? It's a mission. It's not a human being. It able to understand. It able to execute only low-level language representations. That mission is able to understand only mission language, low-level representation. But observe carefully here. Here we provided program in what language? No, high-level language. Of course, C programming language only. Int I is equal to 10 now, high-level representation. Say for example, what is this high-level representation actually? Int I is equal to 10 is a high-level representation. But what is this low-level representation actually? This is low-level representation. Zeros and ones is what their mission language, low-level representation. So we have written our program in what representation? No, high-level representation. But C engine required the program in what representation? No, low-level representation. Are able to follow or not? This is what their high level, this is what their low level representation. But there some miscommunication is available or not? Some miscommunication is available. So we are unable to execute our program in this case now. But I want to make it is execute. If you want to execute this program, then what we have to do there? Here we need to go for some approach. What is that approach here we have to do there? Now try to understand it. If you want to execute this program, first we have to convert our program from high level representation to low level representation. First we have to convert our program from high level representation to low level representation. Here I am going to take some converter or a translator. Here I want to take translator. Here I am going to take translator. Here I want to take this translator has to take this high level program as an input. It has to convert that high level program into low level program. The total low level program here we are going to get in the form of a separate file. Low level program here we are able to get in the form of what there? A separate file. That file is like what there? .exe file. Inside this .exe file, then what we are able to have there? Here we are able to have like what there? Low level representations totally. Here this is totally what there? Low level representation here we can understand. Right, sir. These are like what there? Low level representations. Right, sir. We can understand this. Low level representation. This is low level representation. Okay. Whenever we are getting this low level representation, if we give this low level represented code to the C engine, now C engine will execute this low level code. C engine is able to provide the required output. C engine is able to provide what there? The required output. Now this is what exactly the process of executing our program. Are you getting it or not? Now you understand it clearly. Here we have used some translation process to translate the program from high level representation to low level representation. Now this translation process is called as what then? Compilation. This translation process is called as what there? Compilation. Now tell me here, what is the meaning of this compilation clearly? What exactly the meaning of compilation here? If you observe this point here, answer is very clear. Compilation is a process of converting program from high level representation to low level representation. This is point number one. Okay, observe carefully. Again, I'm asking there, what exactly the purpose of this compilations? No, I'm going to give some points here. Compilation, in the sense, two things. One is what the conversion from high level language to what next one can know low level language, high level language to low level language conversion. And second thing is what there. Now tell me all of you know who has written that program? Who has written that program? Programmer, developer. Am I right or not? Human being only. Developer in the sense what there? Human being. See, human being may go for some number of mistakes in our program. While writing the program, number of mistakes here we are going to do. Definitely, it's a minimum fundamental right for human being committing the mistakes. Am I right or not? Having mistakes in our program is not a crime. Having mistakes in our program is not a crime, is not a wrong thing. It's a common thing for everybody. But without checking whether our program containing errors or not, without checking whether our program contains errors or not, trying to execute the program is a crime. Are you able to follow or not? Without checking whether our program contains errors or not, you are trying to execute our program is a big crime. So what is the point I'm telling there? Before executing our program, first we have to check whether our program contains any error or not. Before executing our program, first we have to check whether our program is having any error or not. If our program is having error, then we have to correct that program again. If no errors are identified there, then program is going to be executed. So definitely we need to perform some error checking or not. In our program, we have to perform some error checking or not. Exactly. That error checking here we are going to do with what there? That compilation only. Compilation is responsible for what there? Error checking. Compilation is responsible for what there? Error checking. Is it all of you are getting clarity on these points now? Is my point is clear to all of you? Right, sir. Now tell me, two responsibilities are available for compilation. What are the two responsibilities now? Come on, one is what there? Converting program from high level representation to low level representation. Second one is what there? Error checking. Error checking is one responsibility. Converting from high level to low level, this is another responsibility. Yes, all of you are getting clarity why we need to go for compilation? No, no response, guys. Fine. Let's come for the next point now. Observe carefully. The time when we perform compilation, is called as compilation time. The time when we perform compilation is what there? Compilation time. Got it or not? The time when we perform compilation is compilation time. Compilation time is also be called as static time. Compilation time is also be called as what there? Static time. Next one, the time when we perform execution, that is called as execution time. The time when we perform execution is also be called as what their execution time. Execution time is also be called as what their dynamic time. Dynamic time is also be called as what their run time. They are the names, different names. The time when we perform compilation, static time or compilation time. The time when we execute our program, execution time, dynamic time, and run time. Sir, all of you getting my point or not? Okay, now observe carefully. One more point I'm telling you. For example, int a is equal to 10. I have written this in a section. Int a is equal to 10. Now tell me, for a variable, this is a variable. For a variable, 2 bytes of memory will be allocated or not? Internally, the 10 is the data. The 10 data has to be stored or not? Where the 10 data has to be stored in internal memory. Am I right or not? So here, what we are able to have there, 10 is the data here now. A value and 10 is the data. The 10 data will be provided within what there, 2 bytes of memory. Am I right or not? That means for every data type, on the base of data type, for integer, 2 bytes of memory will be allocated. So this is a primitive data. For this primitive data, memory must be allocated or not? For the primitive data, memory must be allocated or not? Please recognize my point, what I'm telling here. Definitely, memory will be allocated for the primitive data. Clear or not? Okay, now listen carefully. I'm giving conclusion, try to understand it now. If any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data at a compilation time, not at runtime, at a compilation time. If any programming language provides memory allocation for the primitive data at a compilation time, not at runtime, that programming language is called as static programming language. That programming language is what there? Static programming language. All of you are getting clarity what I'm telling there? If any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data at a compilation time, not at runtime, then that programming language is called as what there? Static programming language. Similarly, if any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data at a runtime, not at compilation time. At what time there no runtime, then that programming language is called as dynamic programming language. The programming language is what there? Dynamic programming language. Is that clear or not? Right. So now observe carefully. Of course, I want to give even this diagram also for you. In the document, I will include even this diagram also. Now observe carefully. What is the definition here in there? What is the first difference between Java and others? So now tell me, what is the very first difference here? C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is what there? A dynamic programming language. Tell me, what is the point I've given there? Yesterday, I think in the last class I given the point here. What was the point I've given there? If any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data at a compilation time, then that programming language is called static programming language. Examples for static programming language is what there? C and C++. Observe carefully. Next one is, what is this? How this is a static programming language now? In C and C++ applications, memory will be provided to the data at a compilation time only, not at a runtime. So C and C++ are what their static programming languages. Next one, if any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data at a runtime, if any programming language allows memory allocation for the primitive data at a runtime, then that programming language is called as what there? Dynamic programming language. Examples are what there? Java, Python. In Java applications, memory will be allocated for the data at what time here? At a runtime. In Java applications, memory will be allocated for the data at what time here? No? At a runtime. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? What I am telling you now. That's okay now. This is the first difference here, what we identified clearly. Okay, that's okay, fine. Now this is completed. Then what next one here? After completion of this, second difference here we are going to understand. All of you observe carefully the second difference now. Everybody understand it now? Preprocessor is required in C and C++. but a preprocessor is not required in Java. Sir, all of you are getting clarity on this? Preprocessor is required in C and C++, but a preprocessor is not required in Java. Clear? Right. All of you observe carefully. Before going to understand preprocessor is required or not required in C, C++ and in Java. Before understanding this preprocessor required or not required in C, C++ and Java, first of all, we have to understand what is preprocessor, what is the role of the preprocessor in programming, where this preprocessor is existed, what it is able to perform, what it is able to do in our programming languages. That all the points here we have to understand. After that, we will decide whether preprocessor is required or not required in C, C++ and Java. Yes, sir, all of you are getting it or not? What I am telling you. Right, sir. Now let us understand the content here. What I am telling to you. Observe carefully. I want to give one diagram here. For example, I'm going to write a program. Now this we can understand a C program. Dot C. This is what there a C program dot C. Observe carefully. Next one is we need to perform compilation. Here we have to perform what there compilation. When we perform compilation, now tell me guys, after compilation of our C program, what files here we are able to get? What file here we are able to get? Already we have seen in the previous diagram there. Of course, different files here we are able to get .obj, .ai. Finally here what we are able to get no .exe file. That's what we require. After that, whenever we are getting this .exe file, there we can execute our program. So now here we have to perform like what there execution process. Execution process here we have to perform. Whenever we are executing this program now, here directly we are able to get some output. Here we are able to get like what there some output. Right, sir. Now this is the overall scenario here we can understand. All right, now if we observe this compilation, in compilation is not like only one mission work. Compilation is like 4 missions work. Compilation is not like single mission work. Compilation is nothing but 4 missions work. What are these 4 missions here we are able to provide? First one is like what there preprocessor. First one is what there preprocessor. Okay, next one after that compiler. After that assembler. Then after that loader, link editor. Loader, link editor. That's it. Observe carefully. First one is like what there preprocessor, compiler. Next one is assembler. Next one is like what there loader, link editor. This is overall. Right, sir. Understand it clearly. Now inside this, again now I'm telling there, here the requirement of the preprocessor, location of the preprocessor we understood there. This is sufficient. But I want to elaborate even compiler also. Internally, compiler is also existed. What is available there inside this compiler? Compiler, if you observe this, lexical analysis phase. After this lexical analysis phase, next one is what there syntax analysis phase. After the syntax analysis phase, next one is semantic analysis phase. Next one is intermediate code generation. After this intermediate code generation, code optimization. Then after this, another one is what there? Code generation. Right. These many phases are available inside the compiler. If you open the compiler, these many phases are existed here. Let's see this the phases what we are having there. Now first one is like what the lexical analysis phase. Next one is the syntax analysis phase, semantic analysis phase, intermediate code generation, code optimization. The next one is like what the code generation. Of course, along with these two more tables are available. The two more tables are not required here, like symbol table, error handler table. So different things are available here. It's not required for us now. But majorly, this is the total architecture what we are having. Right, of course, I don't require all these concepts immediately. I don't not required to understand each and every point immediately. So from this diagram, what I require the information, what exactly the point here I'm trying to say. From this diagram, we can understand the location of the preprocessor. From this diagram, what we have to remember, the location of the preprocessor. Where is preprocessor? At which location that preprocessor is existed? That point here I require now. Tell me at which location that preprocessor is available? Inside the compilation. Inside the compilation, the very first phase is a pre-processing phase or not? Inside the compilation, the very first phase is what there? Pre-processing phase. Is that all of you are getting it or not? Only this point. For the sake of this point only, I given this entire diagram here. Okay. Right. Let me provide this point here. Try to observe this clearly. Here the diagram here I'm going to provide. Now tell me what is the location of the preprocessor? Preprocessor is the first phase. Preprocessor is the first phase in compilation. Preprocessor is the first phase in compilation. That's okay, fine. What this preprocessor will do? What preprocessor is able to do? What is its responsibility in programming languages? Observe carefully now. I'm going to give some clarity. Now try to understand it now. All of you observe carefully. In a C and C++, not only in the C, I'm telling that in a C and C++, observe carefully. Every programming language is having some predefined library or not? Come on, guys, you have to respond for me. Every programming language is having some predefined library or not? So in C and C++, the complete predefined library was provided in the form of header files. Am I right or not? If you're having awareness on C and C++, we have to answer for it. The complete predefined library is available in the form of what there? Header files. Can you tell me examples for these header files? No? stdio.h. Am I right or not? stdio.h. Come on. Next one is like what there? After this stdio.h, math.h. After this math.h. Next one is what there? conio.h and so on. So many things are existed here now. What are the various things now? stdio.h, math.h, conio.h and so on. Just examples I'm telling them. Okay, good. Listen carefully. Okay, predefined library is available in the form of header files. But how I'm going to use them in my C program? The predefined library is available in the form of header files. But how I'm going to access that header files data in my C program there? In C and C++ applications, if you want to use predefined library which are provided in header files, if you want to use predefined library which are provided in header files, then we have to include header files in the C and C++ programs. Am I right or not? We have to include header files into the C and C++ programs. Good. Further purpose, what syntaxes, what we have to use there? Examples I'm telling there. Hash include stdio.h. Am I right or not? Or statement here we have to use there hash include stdio.h. Next one is a hash include conio.h. Next one is a hash include math.h. Hash include like what there math.h. In this way here we are able to provide this. Am I right or not? Next point is very, very important. Try to observe carefully. For example, I have a program. Inside my program, I have written all the hash include statements. I have written all the hash include statements like this inside my program. Observe carefully. If we compile a C program, C and C++ program, C and C++ programs, then preprocessor will perform the following actions. All of you observe carefully what actions it able to perform there. If we compile C and C++ programs, then preprocessor will perform the following actions. Point number one. Listen, all of you listen carefully. Preprocessor will recognize hash include statements. Hash include statements. Am I right? Observe carefully. Preprocessor will recognize hash include statements. Preprocessor will take all the specified header files names from hash include statements. Am I right? Preprocessor will recognize all the hash include statements. Preprocessor will take all the header files names. What are the header files names I specified here? stdio.h, conio.h, math.h. It able to take all the header files names. Clear or not? Next one. After that, observe carefully. Preprocessor. Understand it clearly. What I'm telling there. Preprocessor will check. Preprocessor will check whether the specified header files are available in C and C++ softwares. What preprocessor will do? No, whatever the header files name here we specify. No, preprocessor will check whether the specified header files are existed or not existed in the C and C++ softwares. Say for example, if you want to compile my C program, first of all, C software must be installed in my computer or not. In that installed C software, preprocessor will check whether these header files are existed or not existed. Okay, observe carefully. Point number 3. In the case, if the specified header files are not existed, if the specified header files does not exist or existed, the specified header files are not existed in the C library, C predefined library or inside the C software, then preprocessor will raise an error. If they're not available, then preprocessor will raise what there? An error. Got it or not? In the case, for example, right sir, in the case, observe carefully, if the specified header files, are existed in the C predefined library, then preprocessor, observe carefully, preprocessor will load all the header files to the memory as part of compilation. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? All of you are following this point or not? First of all, preprocessor will recognize all the hash include statements. Preprocessor will take all the header files names what we provided. Preprocessor will check them whether they are available or not in the C predefined library. If they are not available, error will be raised. If they are available, then preprocessor will load all the header files content to the memory, part of the compilation. Now I'm giving one point here. Now try to observe carefully. This type of loading predefined library, is called static loading. At compilation time, we are loading that library or not? This type of loading is called as what there? Static loading. Is that all of you get my point or not? Then the preprocessor will load all the header files content to the memory as part of compilation. This type of loading predefined library is called as what there? Static loading. No response, guys. All of you are getting it or not? What exactly the point I'm telling there? Now tell me here, what is the conclusion here I'm telling there? Conclusion, not the point, no, conclusion now. Tell me, by seeing all these points, no, what is the job of the preprocessor in C and C++ applications, no? What is the job of the preprocessor in C and C++ applications, no? The job of the preprocessor in C and C++ applications is to recognize hash include statements in order to load header files content to the memory. To recognize all hash include statements in order to load all header files content to the memory. Because of this particular reason only, here we have used what there? Preprocessor. No response, guys. What I'm telling you now. Is it clear or not? All right, so now. The main purpose of preprocessor in C and C++ applications is to recognize all hash include statements in order to load header files content to the memory. That's it. Now this is, just give a minute of time. Right, sir. So the main purpose of the preprocessor in a C and C++ applications is to recognize all hash include statements in order to load header files content to the memory. Right, sir. This is what exactly the purpose of like what the preprocessor in a C and C++. And the corresponding diagram also here we provided here at which location it is available clearly. But here my question is, preprocessor is not required in Java. Preprocessor is not existed in Java. Why it is not existed in Java? Why it is not required in Java? That point here we want to understand. That's our required point here. Why it is not required in the case of Java? Okay, now observe carefully. After this, here I want to provide the point here. Now try to understand it now. In Java, first of all, tell me, in C and C++, the complete predefined library is existed in the form of header files or not? Come on, in the form of header files or not? But in Java, the complete predefined library is existed in the form of classes and interfaces in packages. This example is what their packages. Example I'm telling to you, now observe carefully. Example I'm telling to you, now observe carefully. Java.io package, Java.util package, Java.sql package. All these are what their packages. Inside the packages, no classes and interfaces are existed. This is the structure of the Java predefined library. In Java, the complete predefined library is available in the form of what their packages. Java.io, Java.util, Java.sql. Understand it clearly now? Okay, good. Next one is, in Java applications, see, in the case of C and C++, if you want to use predefined library, in the case of C and C++, if you want to use predefined library, there we have to include header files to the C and C++ programs or not. Similarly, in Java applications, if you want to use predefined library, then we have to import the packages. What we have to do there? Import. In the case of Java, importing packages. In the case of C and C++, including header files now. Right. Right, sir. Now observe carefully how we are going to write these import statements now. Just I'm giving that import java.io.star. What is the meaning of this star now? In a java.io package, so many classes and interfaces are available. That all classes and interfaces of the java.io I want to get into my program. That's why here I'm using this one. Next one is what there? Import java.util.star. Similar, in the case of java.util package, so many classes and interfaces are available. I want to get all of them. Next one is what there? Import java.sql.star. So here in java.sql package, so many classes and interfaces are available. I want to use them. That's why here we have used this star. Okay, fine. For example, I prepared a Java program. I prepared what there? Java program. Inside the Java program, I have written all these import statements. In a Java program, I have written what there? All the import statements. Now I want to compile my program. Now I want to compile my program. Observe carefully. If I compile a Java program, then compiler will perform the following actions. Of course, we already aware about it. In the case of Java, preprocessor is not available. That's why I'm using what there? Compiler. Compiler will perform the following actions. What actions the compiler is able to perform there? Observe carefully. Understand it clearly. First of all, compiler will recognize all the import statements. Compiler will recognize all the imports. In the case of C and C++, preprocessor recognized what their hash include statements. Now in Java, compiler will recognize import statements. Next one is number 2. Compiler will read all the packages names which we provided along with the import statements. All of you observe carefully. Compiler will read all the package names which we provided along with the import statements. Then after that, observe carefully. Compiler will check whether the specified packages are existed or not in the Java predefined library. In the case of C and C++ also, preprocessor has checked whether the provided header files are exist or not in C predefined library. Here also the compiler has checked whether the provided provided packages are available in the C Java predefined library or not. Then point number 4. Observe carefully. If the provided packages are not existed, if the provided packages are not existed in a Java predefined library, then compiler will raise an error. Compiler will raise an error. Am I right or not? If the specified packages are not available in Java predefined library, the compiler will raise an error. Package XXX does not exist. Package java.util does not exist. Package java.sql does not exist. There we are able to get some compilation error. For example, if the specified packages are available in Java predefined library, if the provided packages are existed in the Java predefined library, if the provided packages are existed in the Java predefined library, then what compiler will do? Then compiler will not raise any error. Please remember this, compiler will not raise any error. In the case of preprocessor case, if the specified header files are available, no error, but header files content is loaded to the memory or not. That is called a static loading or not. Now, what I'm telling there, if the provided packages are existed in the Java predefined library, then compiler will not raise any error and compiler will not load any package. content to the memory. A Java compiler is not loading any package content to the memory. Just compiler is responsible for checking whether the specified packages are existed or not existed. That's it. Yes, sir. In the case of C and C++, preprocessor responsibility is what there? Loading header files content to the memory, static loading. But in the case of Java, compiler is not responsible for checking whether the compiler is not responsible for loading predefined library to the memory. But compiler is responsible for checking whether the specified packages are available or not available in Java predefined library. Is that all of you are getting my point or not? Whatever the point here I'm telling you. Clear. Now this is exactly the point here what I'm telling to you, this point here. That's okay, fine. This is like what there, point number 5. All right, sir. Compiler will not load any package content to the memory. Okay. If compiler is not loading this, but who will load this predefined library to the memory? Who will load that predefined library to the memory? All right. If you observe this, if we execute the Java program, if we execute Java application, comma at a runtime, I'm telling there, not at compilation time, JVM will load the required predefined library to the memory at runtime, not at compilation time. At runtime, JVM will load the required predefined library to the memory. This type of loading predefined library is called dynamic loading. This type of predefined library loading is called as what there? Dynamic loading. Yes, sir. All of you are following or not? What are the points here I'm telling there? A clear-cut information here I'm telling you. Try to follow these points here. Each and every point I'm providing in the document. This document is for the sake of you only. All of you are seeing the document there. Whatever the content here I'm providing there. Of course, at the end of the class, I'll give that link also to you. Already given that link to you. All right. Now tell me. I'm asking one question there. In which programming language static loading is going on? In which programming language dynamic loading is going on? Now tell me. Static loading is going on in which programming language? C and C++. Dynamic loading is going on in which programming language? Java programming language. So static loading is supported by hash include statements, and dynamic loading is supported by import statements. Are you forgetting it or not? Now let's come for the conclusion, guys. Now the conclusion is what their preprocessor. Preprocessor is not required in Java. Why it is not required in Java? That's the question. Why preprocessor is not required in Java? That's the question actually. Right, now here we have to understand, no, observe carefully. In Java, preprocessor is not required. Why, sir? What is the reason for it? No, why? Because in Java, preprocessor is not required. Why? Because in Java, hash include statements. In Java, hash include statements and header files are not available. Why preprocessor is not required in the case of Java? Hash include statements and header files are not available in Java. Right or not? Now in Java, packages and import statements are available. In Java, alternatively in Java, packages and import statements are available. So here to recognize packages and import statements, Java is able to use compiler and JVM. So it is not required to use what their preprocessor. Because of this reason only, preprocessor is not at all required in the case of Java. So, all of you are getting it or not? What are the point here I'm telling them? That's okay, fine. All right, sir. Now, whatever the diagram here we prepared now, this diagram I want to be converted to Java. This diagram is purely in C. I want to convert this diagram into what there? Java. Let me check this here. What we are able to convert here. Now here .c is available here. In place of .c, here we are able to get what there? .java. Listen carefully. In the case of C, after compilation, we are getting .exe file. But in place of this Java, in the case of Java, in place of .exe, we are able to get what files there? .class files. In Java, only two types of files. Before compilation, .java. After compilation, .class files. Alright, sir. Now here we are able to get it. But in the case of Java, what is not available here? No, preprocessor is not available. Remaining content is very same. In the case of Java, preprocessor is not available, but remaining content is very same. Alright, so now this one also I want to provide in our content kit. Try to recognize this. But I have one important interview question, guys. You have to give answers for it. All of you ready for it? My question is, what are the differences between hash include statements and import statements? What exactly the difference between hash include statement and import statement? This is my question. Okay. Can you give answers here? No? Tell me the very first answer here. First of all, where they are available, where these two things are available here. No? First of all, tell me hash include statements are available in C and C++. Similarly, import statements are available in Java. Import statements are available in where there? Java. That's okay, fine. Next one is their functionalities, what they are able to include. Now tell me, all of you now tell me, hash include statements are able to include predefined library. Hash include statements are able to include predefined library which are available in the form of header files. Am I right or not? Now tell me. Similarly, here what we are able to provide there? Import statements are able to include the predefined libraries, which are available in the form of classes and interfaces in packages. Okay. Next one, loading. Which type of load are which are recognized by preprocessor, which is recognized by compile and JVM. If you observe this, hash include statements are evaluated by or maybe recognized by. Hash include statement recognized by whom? Come on, hash include statements are recognized by whom? Preprocessor, right? Similarly, now tell me, recognized by the preprocessor. But import statements are recognized by the compiler and JVM. Both can recognize. Both has to use these import statements. At compilation time, checking packages, but at runtime, then loading the content point of both has to be recognized. Fourth one, now tell me, all of static loading and dynamic loading. Hash include statement is supporting. Hash include statement is supporting what loading there? Is supporting static loading. Hash include statement is supporting what loading there? Static loading. But import statement is loading. Import statement is supporting what loading here? Now tell me, dynamic loading. Import statement is supporting what loading there? Dynamic loading. Okay, right, sir. Next one is fifth point. Observe carefully. Now tell me, by using a single hash include statement, how many header files we are able to include? Only one header file or more than one header file? Only one header file only. By using single hash include statement, we are able to include only one header file. we are able to include only one header file. Example here I'm telling to you, observe carefully. Hash include yesterday.h. Next one is hash include conio.h. That means if you want to include more than one header file, we have to use more than one hash include statement. That's the point here I'm telling to you. Hash include math.h, like this here we are able to provide. But in the case of Java, what is going on here now? By using single import statement, we are able to include more than one class or more than one interface of the same package. More than one class or more than one interface of the same package by using star notation. We know already. Import java.io.star. Star is representing what there? All, more than one class or more than one interface from the specified package, java.io package. You can understand it clearly now. Got it or not? So this is overall information here. We can understand clearly now. Right, sir. This is the total awareness on. Like a preprocessor and its existency in a C, C++ and Java. It is required in C, C++, but it is not required in Java. What is predefined library, sir? There is a question now. What is a predefined library? For every programming language, some libraries must be provided by the languages, not by the developers. Some libraries only developers can define, but majority of the libraries must be provided by the programming languages only. That programming languages defined libraries what their predefined library. Understand it? What I am telling you. Okay. All right, sir. Now, all right, sir. That's okay. Fine. Does JDK also include JVM? So this JDK, JVM, JRE, the topics I'll discuss with you later. Don't think much about it now. But at present, we are at very startup mode. Just gradually, slowly, I'm going to increase the content here. So we are able to understand it now. At very starting, in the differences between Java and others, slowly we are going to understand each and every point here now. Right, so then tomorrow, I'm going to discuss one important topic here. Very important here. I think the third difference here. What I'm going to discuss there. C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is platform independent programming language. This difference here we are going to understand. Very important difference. Directly interviewers are asking this question there, this difference now. So without failure, try to understand this particular point. So this topic, this point, I'm going to discuss on tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to see this content, guys. Okay. That's all, guys. That's all for today. Then tomorrow we'll meet. Tomorrow we'll see the remaining content, right? Once again, I'm telling there, few days of time only. Then 5:30 to like 6:30, I'm going to take no. Afterwards, 4:30 to 6, 1.5 hour class we are going to be take no. But in the startup mode, few days of time because of some busy schedule. Few days of time, only 1 hour class I'm planning that. Next onwards, 1.5 hour class we are able to plan that. But I will give schedule to you when onwards. From which date onwards we are going to plan for 1.5 hour class now, right? Thank you. Thanks a lot. Please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Hmm? Yeah. Okay. There is. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you get my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Yeah, thank you. Right. Good evening, guys. and check it what we completed in the last session. Think so. We are discussing about the differences between Java and others. In the differences between Java and others, what topic here we understand there? C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is what there? A dynamic programming language. Okay. Then we are given some points here. If any programming language allows memory allocation at a compilation time, then that programming language is a static programming language. If any programming language allows memory allocation for the data at runtime, then that programming language is what their dynamic programming language. Examples for static programming languages are C and C++. Example for dynamic programming language is what their Java and others. Next one is preprocessor is required in a C and C++, but it is not required in the case of Java. All right, what is the purpose of this preprocessor in a C and C++ and why it is not required in the case of Java? If you observe this, preprocessor is required in C and C++ to recognize hash include statements and to load the provided header files content to the memory. But in the case of Java, preprocessor is not required. Why it is not required in the case of Java there? In the case of Java, hash include statements are not available and header files are not available. In place of that, classes and interfaces and import statements are available in the case of Java. This is what exactly the content here we understood there, and some diagrammatic representation, somewhat extra content here are given. Now try to recognize the content here now. All right, sir. Diagram also are given there. The total process are given, somewhat total content here. Then at the end, I have given one important interview question in the last class. What was that question here I have given there? What are the differences between hash include statement and import statement? If you observe this, hash include statements are available in C and C++. Import statements are available in Java. Next one is what there. Hash include statements are able to include predefined library which are available in the form of header files. Import statements are able to include the predefined libraries which are available in the form of classes and interfaces in packages. Hash include statements are recognized by the preprocessor, but import statements are recognized by the compiler and JVM. Hash include statement is supporting static loading, whereas import statements are supporting dynamic loading. By using single hash include statement, we are able to include only one header file. That's like what there, hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, hash include math.h, like this. By using single import statements, we are able to include more than one class or more than one interface of the same package. Import java.ivo.star. Example I given, star is a representation here. The star is representing what there, including all content here now. Then after that, we need to start today the third difference here. What is the third difference here now? C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is what their platform independent programming language. Clear? All of you understand it? Put focus on this point here. Before going to understand whether C, C++ and Java are platform dependent or platform independent, before that, first of all, tell me when a programming language is platform dependent and when a programming language is platform independent. That we have to understand first. After that, we are going to think whether C, C++ are platform dependent or not, whether Java is a platform independent or not. Later on, we are going to discuss about it. Right, so now let's understand the point here. Observe carefully. C and C++ are platform dependent programming language. That's okay. Before that, now observe carefully. Listen carefully. If any programming language, yes, if any programming language allows its applications to perform, understand it clearly. If any programming language allows its applications to perform, compilation is on compilation and execution on the same operating system. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation and execution, both must be on the same operating system, then that programming language is called platform platform dependent programming language. This is what the platform dependent programming language. Is it? All of you are getting clarity in this now? If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation and execution on the same operating system, then that programming language is called platform dependent programming language. Observe carefully. Example is what there, C and C++. An example for this is what there, C and C++. Okay, definition is okay. Example is what there, C and C++ programming languages. Up to this one is also be okay. But how can you say C is a platform dependent programming language? Any proper reason for it? How it is possible to say C is a platform dependent programming language? Any reason for it? Yes, I'll give some reason here. Now try to understand the point here. All of you observe carefully. What exactly the point here I'm telling to you? All of you observe carefully. Right. Now see this. For example, I want to take a C program here. This is my C program. C program in the sense what we are able to get here, dot C is an extension here we are able to provide. Okay, dot C. Now inside this C program, we have to write some mini sections. I have written some code. Observe carefully. Whenever we have written this C program, when we have written this C program, we have to compile this program or not? We need to compile this program. So compilation here I'm going to take. Observe carefully. This is like what their compilation. Now tell me, all of you now tell me, after compilation of our C program, what files here we are able to get now? What exactly the file here we are able to get now? Dot exe file here we are able to get. What file here we are getting there? Dot exe file. Inside the dot exe file, so now here we are able to have like what there some content here. What is this content? I will discuss with you later on, but understand this clearly. .exe file here we are getting. Clear? Whenever we are getting this .exe file, I need to execute this program. Execution here we have to perform. Who will execute our C programs now? Already given that point. Who will execute C programs now? C engine. C engine will execute our C programs. Whenever we execute our C program, there we are able to get some output. After execution of our program, there we are able to get what there some output. This is overall process what we are having. Clear? All of you are getting it clearly? Outputs here we are getting there. Okay, fine. Right. Listen carefully. All of you know. I have taken C program that we compiled. We are getting some .exe file. The .exe file we executed by using C engine. Then we are getting some output. Clear? Up to now. Further definition. Platform dependent programming language definition. Point of view. What I am telling there. For compilation, I need to take operating system. For execution also we require what their operating system. Here, what is the definition of the platform dependent programming language? The definition of the platform dependent programming language is what there. If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation and execution on the same operating system. That means for compilation and execution, we have to provide what the same operating system. For compilation and execution here, we have to provide what the same operating system. Then that programming language is what their platform dependent programming language. All right, sir. Now here, as per the definition, for compilation, I'm using like what their Windows. For execution, I have to use what there as per the definition Windows only. If we use Windows operating system for compilation, for execution also we have to use what there? Same Windows operating system. Then only that programming language is what there? Platform dependent programming language. Get my point or not? For the sake of the discussion, for the sake of our clarity purpose, for execution purpose, I want to use different operating system. And for compilation, I want to use what their Windows operating system. Compilation is on Windows operating system. Execution is on what their Linux operating system that I have used there. For example, for a discussion point of view, for the sake of understanding point of view, I have used this Linux operating system. Good. Observe carefully. C engine is available on which operating system? No? Come on guys, C engine is available on which operating system? Linux operating system. If the C engine is available on Linux operating system, then what code it able to understand, it able to execute? No. Observe carefully. It is able to execute, it is able to execute only Linux representations, Linux represented code from operating system to operating system. Internal data representation is different. Don't think about it. Same data representation is available in both the operating systems. From one operating system to another operating system, internal data representation is what they're different. Are you getting it or not? Okay, fine. So the C engine is available on Linux operating system. It is able to execute only Linux represented code. Okay, fine. For example, observe carefully. C program I have written. I'm compiling the C program on which operating system? Windows operating system. I'm compiling the C program on which operating system? No, Windows operating system. Getting my point or not? When we compile the C program on Windows operating system, automatically .exe file is created or not? Now, what is the story about this .exe file? What it is available here? Insert this .exe file. If you have to this, understand the point here. .exe file contains directly executable code. .exe file contains directly executable code. And listen carefully. This point is important. And it is having the local operating system representations. That is what they now here what we provided. Windows operating system representations here we provided. Is it all of you understand this point here? What is this .exe file nature? No, .exe file contains directly executable code, and it is having the local operating system representations, that is Windows representations. Now this .exe file is having which representations? No, Windows representations. No, got it or not? But observe carefully. C engine is available on which operating system? Linux. It is able to understand only what representations? No, Linux represented code. Fine. For example, I got this .exe file which has Windows operating system representations. If I give this .exe file to the C engine, is it possible for C engine to execute this Windows represented .exe file? Come on guys, answer for my question now. If I give this Windows represented .exe file to the C engine, is it possible for C engine to execute Windows represented .exe file? Possible or not possible? Not possible here. It is not possible here. Understand my point clearly. It is not possible to execute. It is not possible to execute. It is not possible to execute Windows represented executable code on Linux operating system. Why? Because C engine is able to understand only Linux representations. So some mismatch is available or not? We are providing Windows representations, but C engine is required what their Linux representations. So some mismatch is available or not? So because of this mismatch, because of this particular reason, we are unable to execute our program. Okay, but if we want to execute this program, then what we have to do? No, only one solution. What is that solution? At runtime, we have to change your operating system. At runtime, what operating system here we have to provide? The same Windows operating system here we have to provide. On this Windows operating system, if you provide Windows operating system, C engine is able to execute only. Now at present, now we have to remove that Linux. There we have to provide what there? Windows representations. Now observe carefully. C program we compiled on Windows operating system. We are getting .exe file. This .exe file contains what there? Windows representations only. That Windows represented.exe file, if we provide to the C engine, which is on Windows operating system, there we are able to, that C engine, sorry, that C engine is able to execute that Windows represented.exe file or not. Why? Because now C engine is available on what their Windows operating system. It is able to understand only what their Windows representations. Now we are providing Windows represented.exe file or not. You're providing what their Windows represented.exe file. So C engine is also expecting the same Windows operating system representations. So finally, the C program, C engine is able to execute this .exe file or not. Then we are able to get output or not. No response, guys. Right, sir. Because of this reason, C and C++ are what their platform dependent programming languages. That execution is totally depending on the operating system which we have used for compilation. Right, execution of the C program is depending on the operating system which we have used for what their compilation. This is what exactly the meaning of like what their like platform dependent programming language. Clear? All of you are getting clarity on this now? Right, so now let me take this diagram here. I want to keep this one. All right, so, let me have one line data. I want to provide some data here. Now try to understand the same point here. I want to say no. If we compile C program on Windows operating system, if we compile C program on Windows operating system, then the compiler will generate .exe file. .exe file contains directly executable code, and it is having the local operating system representations, that is Windows representations. In this context, to execute Windows represented .exe file, that is to execute Windows represented .exe file. Observe carefully. In this context, to execute Windows represented .exe file, Windows represented.exe file, then what we have to do there? We have to use the same Windows operating system, at a runtime. Right, sir. Due to this dependency on the operating system, C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages. Yes, sir. All of you are getting my point or not? Clearly, no. That's it, guys. Then how C and C++ are platform dependent, that we understood clearly. Okay, that's okay, fine. The content also here we provided. That's okay. But what is platform independent programming language? Before that, have you understood that the platform dependent programming language content? Can I go for platform independent now? All right, observe carefully. What you are able to understand about this platform independent programming language, what you are understanding there? All right, what is the definition for it? Observe carefully. If any programming language, observe carefully, if any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation is on one operating system, and execution is on another operating system. Compilation is on one operating system and execution is on what there? Another operating system. Then that programming language is called as what there? Platform independent programming language. That programming language is what there? Platform independent programming language. Clear? All of you are getting clarity on this now? If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation on one operating system and execution is on another operating system, then that programming language is called platform independent programming language. Right, sir. Example is what there? Java. Of course, Python is also be platform independent programming language. But anyway, Python is not in our context here. First, we have to understand what then Java. Java is in our context clearly. Getting it or not? Fine, sir. Observe carefully after this. What next point here? I'm telling to you how Java is a platform independent programming language. How Java is a platform independent programming language. We have to understand this point clearly. Understand it now? I'll take another diagram. Observe carefully. For example, first of all, I want to provide the diagram as per the definition. As per the definition, I want to provide this diagram. All right, so now here we can understand dot Java. Lines of code here we have written dot Java. Okay. The next one is what? After this, we have to perform compilation. We have to perform like what there? Compilation. Compilation. Okay. When we perform compilation, in the case of Java, what files here we are able to get? Yesterday already we understood. In the case of C++, after compilation, we got what there? .exe file. But in the case of Java, after compilation, what files here we are able to get there? There we are able to get what files here we are able to get there? No dot class files here we are able to get. Right. Now we can understand clearly. There we are getting some dot class file. Dot class file. Okay. Whenever we are getting this dot class file, then what next one here we have to do there? Dot class file. Now I want to go for multiple executions. No, inside the dot class file, some code is available. I will discuss about it. What exactly the code is existed here. Now understand it. No. First of all, I want to execute this program. This is execution. Here we are able to have some output. Execution, and this is like what their output. Understand this? No. Here we are able to provide observe carefully. Execution can be provided here. Now for a compilation we require one operating system. For execution also we can be required an operating system. What operating systems I want to use, I'll discuss with you later on. This is one-time execution. Here I have to provide like what there, another time execution, and another one. Another time execution here we are providing. Right, observe carefully. After this, after completion of all the content here, then what we have to do? Now I want to confirm the operating systems. Can you tell me what is the definition of the platform independent programming language? Come on, what is the definition of the platform independent programming language? If any programming language allows its applications to perform compilation is on one operating system and execution is on another operating system, then it is what their platform independent. Please remember that what I'm telling is central point. Platform dependent, compilation and execution must be on the same operating system. Platform independent, compilation is on one operating system, execution is on another operating system. That's it. That central point we have to remember now. Okay. All right, son. For compilation, I want to use, for example, Windows operating system I want to use. Now here, how many times we want to execute our program? 4 times we want to execute our program. Am I right or not? All right, sir. In 4 times, then one time here we want to use what their Linux operating system. In another time, I want to use like what they say, for example, Mac. Right? Mac operating system, MacBook. In another time here, I want to provide like what there, say for example, Unix, I want to use there, or maybe Solaris, I want to use there. Solaris operating system. Maybe another time here, I want to use the same Windows operating system, of course. For compilation Windows and for execution also, I can use that Windows kernel. Understand my point? These many operating systems here we want to use there. Good. Observe carefully now. I'm going to give that exact point here. Now try to understand it now. When we compile Java program on Windows operating system, here what file here we are getting no? What file here we are getting no? Dot class file here we are getting. Then what is the nature of the dot class file? Before going to understand dot class file, what is the nature of the .exe file? Now tell me, what is the nature of the .exe file? .exe file contains directly executable code, right? So .exe file contains directly executable code, and it is having the local operating system representations. That is what their Windows representations. Clear or not? But now come for this dot class file now. What exactly the nature of the dot class file? Observe carefully. Dot class file contains bytecode. Tell me, dot class file contains what code here? Bytecode. Oh, what is this bytecode actually? It is not directly executable code. No, it is not directly executable code. .exe file contains executable code directly, but it is not having directly executable code. Answer my point here. Okay. Then which code it is available here? No, it is an intermediate code. It is what there? An intermediate code, not source code, not directly executable code. In the middle one, it is an intermediate code, and it doesn't have or doesn't follow any operating system representations. It doesn't have any operating system representations, including Windows operating system, including Windows representations. Even though we compiled our Java program on Windows operating system, the generated dot class file doesn't include Windows representations even. All of you are following this point now? Identify the difference between .exe file and dot class file. .exe file contains directly executable code, but dot class file doesn't have directly executable code. Even it is not representing any operating system representation. It is a neutral bytecode. It is an intermediate code. It is an intermediate code. Okay, please remember this point. This is dot class file representation now. But there is a point here. What's the point now? If you want to execute any bytecode on Linux operating system, that bytecode must have Linux representations. If you want to execute any code on Mac operating system, that code must have Mac representations. If you want to execute any code on Solaris operating system, that bytecode must have Solaris representations. If you want to execute anything on Windows operating system, that bytecode must have Windows representations. Clear? All of you are getting clarity on these points now? If you want to execute any bytecode on any of the operating system, that bytecode must have the respective operating system representations. Then only that code will be executed. Follow or not? My point, what I'm telling to you now. Okay, right. Observe carefully. Now, here dot class file is generated. Is this dot class file is having any representations? Any operating system representations are available with this dot class file? No.